Marwan Cameron, and this is The Conduit. All right, y'all. It is Tuesday. Oh, man, it can't be Tuesday. I don't have a bow tie on. What is going on in the world? I do not have a bow tie on Tuesday. Something got to be wrong. It's Tuesday, July 13th. Currently 81 degrees in Kitsap County. Welcome, everyone. You see, I have Reverend Ellington with me from Salvage Souls. How you doing, Rev?
Hey, how's it going, my brother?
Oh, man, blessed and highly favored. Time to go at it again, right?
Amen. Hey, it's that time again. I know I really missed doing it yesterday, but hey, we here today. We're going to catch up, playing a little catch up.
Yeah, for sure. I know you had a pretty taxing week, and then you were preaching also. So, I remember my dad, practicing and getting ready for his sermons and doing the research, the week of, before, sometimes even 2 weeks,
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot to prepare for, right? To get the scriptures together and, make everything relevant to current, issues or what God puts on your mind. Might even switch it up last minute and say, no, I don't want you to talk about this. You need to talk about that. So there you go. You deal with that.
Yeah. He's definitely done that to me a couple of times, but you know what? Because he is who he is, it works out. It's like, all right, God, look, your will be done, not mine. So yeah.
No, I definitely understand it. But we're here as we are. We're gonna get into it tonight. You and I both consume a lot of current events, and it's important that we commentate on this and give our perspectives on what's going on in the world. We think about what happened with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter and the movement, and where we find ourselves more than a year later, even after the conviction now of Derek Chauvin, and what does that mean for the country? What does that mean for us, here locally? A lot of impact there, and we got to continue to talk about it. And one of the things that always kind of frustrates me is, it's got to be really big for the mainstream media to pick it up. But, they have this short attention span, right? And it's like on to the next thing so quickly. And how are we supposed to actually move past it? Or not really move past it. How do we deal with it, right? I mean, the thing is on both sides is to move past it, to get on, to the next. So it's playoffs. So it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, there's a cat in the tree, whatever. And then there's no resolution, and these things are still continuing to happen, and it's really important. I'll also say that at the height of watching the videos of our Asian American and Pacific Islander community being assaulted verbally and physically, a few of the Black leaders got together and we wrote a letter in response to that. And just kind of spoke to, the fact that, one, it's important to acknowledge these things. And at the same time, it's also important to point out, hey, it's great that the AAPI community was given $50 million to address, their issues there. But, we have been facing these issues in a more
aggressive.
More aggressive way for longer. And there was no $50 million for that, right? And we kind of just get this kind of tokenized pacification with no tangible solutions, and yet these things are happening, and this stuff is still escalating. And so we're going to touch on that tonight. And so we're going to show a couple videos first about the response of conflict that is happening in these department stores. And why I think this is important is I talk to my staff all the time, in particular Rob, and I tell him, look, man, you got to be careful. We're in a time right now where people are unhinged, and you don't know what their situation is, and you can be in the best of moods and they can go 0 to 60. You don't know where their day is, what's going on with them, and you're not going to be able to rise to their level of aggression fast enough, right, to necessarily protect yourself. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get cut off in traffic and you're upset, but these people are already, far gone, and they're ready to shoot or do some other things because they're not in the right minds, and so we need to reflect on that. And more than ever, we have to be vigilant and careful of having that situational awareness around our surroundings, even as something innocuous as shopping at a department store, Victoria's Secret of all places, because these things can pop off and you're instantaneously in a dangerous situation. And if you don't conduct yourself in just the perfect way, or have the support or video evidence, it could cost you your life at worst, injury, jail time, just, a whole lot of different things can happen to you. And so we have to be vigilant about that. Your thoughts on those comments there, Rev?
Well, one thing you said definitely, I think we need to address is how we all realize we live in this microwave society. Everything's just quick, quick, quick. Like you said, like it's the headline this week, but by Friday, it's old news. We need fresh blood. That's drying up and it's getting stale. However, in the wake of all of that, our community, we find ourselves, like you said, where this is just constantly happening. And because cell phones are so prevalent now, we know this has been going on, for a long time. And if you ask me, I think it's slowed down, even though we see so much of it happening, like almost daily. I think it slowed down a little bit because of the
Really?
cameras. Yeah, because of the cameras, I think it slowed down a little bit, and I think it was a lot more prolific, a lot, happening a lot more, before the cameras. But to what I was really wanting to address was, the turnover, rate for the news doesn't allow for time to process the trauma of what we're seeing, and trauma needs, you need time to process trauma. When Historically, when men went off to war and they would come back, uh, they and you see this in the Bible or whatever. But if you do your historic research, they weren't always immediately let right back into the camp, so to speak. Like you had to stay outside. You had to have time to process the trauma of war, that violence. And so I think of it, what I'm saying, on a deeper level. Like, I'm an adult, and I'm watching this stuff, and I'm seeing it, and I'm hearing about it on a constant, you know, and I don't have time to process it. And so sometimes, it gets overwhelming. And it's like, okay, this again, you know. But what about our youth whose brains aren't as developed, who haven't had as much, time in the world to, mature about things or whatever, and they're constantly being bombarded, you know, uh, by these viral videos, of this treatment, right, towards us. you know um Pressure makes a pipe bust. And so I just, say to America, you reap what you sow. And what do they say, more often than you sow. And what's the old cliche, I don't know. It'll come to me. But you reap what you sow. Hey, good evening, brother Rob. Glad you tuned in. I see him messaging up there. But
Oh,
so I
awesome.
just want to, just want to say that we need to take time to process, the trauma of what we're seeing. So to all the parents out there, take time. Like, hey, if this is something, that you're being exposed to. Take time for yourself, and I tell everybody around me, my kids especially, look, take time to take care of yourself. And sometimes that means like, hey, bagging up, slowing down, you know what I'm saying, and just having, some me time, that's important sometimes, taking care of yourself manifests in a lot of different ways, but also, if your children, are being exposed to these videos, then take time to discuss with them these things, take time to listen to them, hear them out, their feelings, what I'm saying, and so forth, and have a conversation around that. And tonight we're gonna, discuss some, some more issues. And it's funny, what I'm saying, when the comedians, make jokes about it or whatever, and quite well, we tend to, try and laugh off our pain, because what I'm saying, if we didn't, we'd be in tears all day every day, so it's like but that doesn't negate the fact that there's pain there,
Right.
and that's something that's going to be addressed in one of the videos that we're going to watch today as well. And so just to the parents, take time for your mental health, and then, also take time for the children, to listen to them, to hear them, let them voice their concerns, or thoughts or whatever. And then that way you can shape the narrative of what it is they should be thinking and feeling, versus the mainstream media, bombarding them with subliminal thoughts and messages that they're carrying on alongside the trauma. And so that's it. All
Rev,
right.
I was just telling someone, about television programming and how toxic it is and how it's designed to distract us and get us thinking and doing, altering our behaviors. Shout out to Sabrina. She's joined us too. I did want to ask you, we're going to show these videos and we'll talk about it before and after, but, there's always been something in the Black community where you say, hey, you got to sit down and talk to your kids, primarily your sons, and say, hey, if you get pulled over by the police, this is what you have to do. And what would you say, Rev? Because you have teenage boys, and you have an adult son too. Now it's not just the police, as we're going to show in some of these videos. They could be walking around in a mall, right? And get into a conflict with someone. They're minding their own business. They're just doing their thing. And here they find themselves in this conflict, and they may want to, keep it real, keep it 100. Or like you said, they're kids, right? So they're going to react. And now they can find themselves in this, in a very dangerous situation. So have you had these discussions with AJ and your other son, or, is this something now that you've been considering? Look, I've got to start, altering and modifying what I say. It's not just the police, but this is how you have to conduct yourself, right? It's not about how, people treat you. It's how you react to situations, and you've got to know when to, diffuse that and not get caught up into it, because you're the one that is likely to lose from that encounter.
Yeah. So before I address that, well, I'll address that first. Yeah, I have not had a conversation with my boys. We have ongoing. We have an ongoing conversation.
Dialogue. I love it.
Yeah. So it's constant. So one of the videos that we're talking about, you sent it to me earlier, what I'm saying, and I was watching it, and AJ, me and him, we talk like that, what I'm saying. He was like, yeah, hold, because he was in the back seat, like, tap me, like, hold it up, like, I want to see too what's going on, so he's aware. Yeah, and we have these conversations, and it's important to make that a ongoing thing, and not just like, okay, here, because things change, what I'm saying. And so you have to be able to, if you have an ongoing conversation, you can be like, hey, okay, well, this is the way the climate is right now, what I'm saying. So kind of approach things this way or the next or whatever. I mean, overall, we understand that, yeah, we have to be, very cautious, around individuals that are employed as police officers, right?
Hmm.
I don't. I try to refrain from calling them police officers, but individuals or civilians, either one, individual or civilians that are employed as a police officer. All right, it's two different
Popo,
things.
Fuzz, 5-0.
Yeah. It's two different things. And so recently, and this was not too long ago, and I wish I'd have saved that video. But right here in our very own illustrious Washington State, right down in Vancouver, there was video of a and I don't know if it was the employee or what the situation was. There was really no context to it other than this little real short clip of a white lady in a store with another couple other white ladies, and she's in a mall. They're in a mall down in Vancouver. She's in the store entrance, and she's pointing a gun, in the mall at think it was like three or four different black girls, and one of them, the black girls, is kind of angry and trying to go over there, and she's being held back or whatever. I don't know what the context around that was, but just the fact that you're pulling a gun on unarmed people, what I'm saying, like that's and me, I believe in my Second Amendment rights. Like, no, that's not what it's for. Like, if your life's being threatened, then yeah. But if your butt being threatened, then take that butt whooping and what I'm saying, deal with it. Like, that's not what it's about. And so you can't just go pulling a gun just because you got one. Like, the situation, as far as I could see it, wasn't warranted of that. And I've seen multiple videos where people are real quick to draw their weapon, and it's like, no, that's not what it's about. If you got a weapon because you're scared of getting beat up, then yeah, you don't need it, and it should be taken away from you. So yeah. But as far as my boys go, yeah, we definitely have continuing dialogue.
So yeah, I love that. And I think that is important. I think when we have these conversations, we talk about, oh, you have the talk, and it's like, no, it's not one conversation; it's ongoing. And the other thing that kind of pricked my ears there was, the fact that whether it's an official thing, like I'm not a member of your family, but I'm a member of the community. You know what I'm saying? So as a black man, as a father, I can send you something, and you're like, you know what? We're gonna have this conversation, son, and you show them the video in real time, and you're having that conversation, and that's part of that circle of support, right? That circle of influence, and that the hyperbolic saying of it takes a village. Those are the ways in which that village is kind of formed, right?
Yeah.
Here's what's going on. You've got to be cognizant of that, and you've got to respond accordingly. Layla's 9; she's not going to be in that situation, but AJ's 15, 16. He very well can find himself in that situation, and so that's critical.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's another thing I was going to say. Like, this isn't just a conversation with my boys. Like, this is a conversation with the family. Like, I talk with my daughters. I talk with my wife, what I'm saying, about certain situations, because, as a man, I feel like, look, I'm tasked with being the protector of my family, whether that's in the home or outside the home, so I don't care, like, what's going on, like, I didn't, I talked to everybody, and I didn't got a little upset and perturbed. Like, look, you got to understand, like, I'm at home worried, just send out a text message like, hey, everything's cool and I'm good. Like, I don't keep chains on people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, I let my wife, like, you go do what you're going to do, whatever. Like, if she want to go and, go down to, Vegas with the girls for a weekend, that's fine. Let go do what you do. I'm not tripping. I'm not like that type of person. But I am type of person that, like, if I don't know you safe, wherever it is you didn't went, then I got an issue. You ain't necessarily got to tell me where you going. Let me know that you safe. That's it. Like, it had been like 5-6 hours. I need to check in, look, I understand how mom was now when she be like, you ain't come check in. Like, come check in there once in a while and just say, hey, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm finna tell you, I was all over the daggone city. I was hours, miles away, you know what I'm saying? But I'd make it back in time enough to check in. So,
But
and
it
that's
was a
all
different time back then. We could ride our bikes and,
man,
I mean,
man.
we would ride from, if people know how Seattle is, we would ride from the Central District all the way to Rainier Beach. We were catching buses, from one end of Seattle to the other, as preteens,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
do that, and it was cool. It ain't
Yeah.
like that now. Layla ain't getting on no bus and going across the city. Sorry. Yeah,
Man, look, yeah, we live in a different world. We
yeah.
do, But so yeah, I have that conversation with everybody in the house. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all at risk. It's not just the black male. You know what I'm saying? It's the black female as well. It's the black community, that we find at risk, and that we find put in these very precarious and dangerous situations where, things turn awry very quickly, and so yeah, I gotta have a conversation with everybody. Just recently, my daughter, her and her friend, they like, hey, she like, Dad, yeah, I'm finna go over to Seattle and hang out. We're gonna go visit a couple of parks. Okay, that's fine. Look, this is what you do. You need to share your I told her, I said, listen, share your location with, somebody. I don't care who it is, as long as somebody in the house got your location, because you could do that on the phone now. Share your location, so that way, I know where to start looking at and, start busting some heads around that area. Hey, you hang out around here? Would you around here? Oh yeah, bam. Okay, where? Hey, I'm joking, people. I'm joking.
Rev ain't joking. He's talking
But
about his
hold
girls.
on, I snatched my headphones out. But yeah,
Snatch the headphones out. Rev ain't joking.
yeah. But no, I tell them, I'm like, share your location. Then that way, I feel a little bit more comfortable. And she shared it with her little sister,
Mhm.
and she knew her little sister was going to be at home, so it's like, okay. And she let me know before she left, like, hey, this is who has my location. Okay, cool. And I'm good with that. Like, go have fun. You're young. Be young and do those things that young people are doing, are going to do, but do it safely. You know what I'm saying? Do it safely, because at the end of the day, I want you home. And that's what really matters. So yeah.
I think that's so important too. Is having a conversation with your kids where it's a situation of, hey, look, you may have done something, you got in trouble, but you can come and you can talk to me about anything at any time. I'd rather know that you're safe. You're gonna get in trouble, but I would rather know that you're safe than for you to just continue to stay out there doing what you're doing, because I can't come home now. I mean, that's how it used to be. It's like, all right, be home before the street lights came on. Oh
Yeah.
man, the street lights on. Well, I'm late now, so
I
I
might
just.
as well finish it. Yeah, it's gonna be bad either way.
Well, here's the thing: you spend about 5 or 10 minutes trying to think about what you should do. Should I go home? I'm gonna be 5 minutes late. I'm gonna be in trouble. Well, now it's 10 minutes later because you couldn't think of nothing. Now it's like, well, I'm 15 minutes late now. Well, hell, I'm out here. I might as well just go for it. And then you make it even worse. And now you're 2.5 hours late, and it's like you should have just went home 5 minutes late. And it just, fell on your sword and say, hey, I'm sorry, pops. I got lost track of time. Literally, I'm 5 minutes late. I will do better. I understand it. But coming in 2 hours late, yeah, you're on punishment now.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh
hey,
yeah.
so you getting the belt now. But that
Yeah.
belt will make you stay out,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I told and I still tell my kids, I'm like, look, you can tell me anything. You can talk to me about anything. It's just about how you, you do it with respect. And I would tell them also, like, you'll do a whole lot better, telling me before I find out from somebody else. I'm like, because Nana, I have this thing where I believe that children are intelligent, like they smart, they just little people, you know what I'm saying? And like if you give them a chance, like they understand, like okay, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that, you know, and you just got to talk with them. And so it's like, okay, look, let's have a conversation, you know, and I'm gonna tell you like, yeah, I don't like that, you know. You do it twice, you know, hey, I'm really disappointed. You do it a third time, like, okay, maybe we need to get a little physical for you to understand this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is one of them
Whoop
hard lessons.
you. I'm still
But
gonna whoop you.
yeah, yeah. But I think kids are really smart, especially this day and age. And if you really just like break it down and have a conversation with them, I've experienced like my kids, they kind of get it and they like, all right. And 9 out of 10, as you know, I could talk. So it's like if nothing else, I don't want to have to sit through that lecture again.
Mhm.
So I got it. Don't do that. Yeah. So, and I've
You
had
know,
good
I think in
success
some
with
ways
that.
we're lucky now. If you can use that word in regards to back when when our parents were telling us how it was. We're like, yeah, whatever. You just talking that stuff. It ain't that bad. We actually have the video footage to show our kids to say, this just saying, old man, get off my lawn and be careful. We're super cautious now. It's like, no, no, this is what it is. We can
Yeah.
talk about it, but you can see it. So
Yeah.
I need you to be careful, and they can have a better grasp, as to what you're trying to say and how critical it is. You know what I'm saying?
So see, that's why I was saying like I think it's a lot better. The things have incidents are down now since we have the cell phones,
Mm-hmm.
because before, you know what I'm saying, it was the neighbor, you know what I'm saying, that like, hey, you on my lawn, I'm gonna come out with the shotgun and just shoot you. And they getting off scot clear. You know what I'm saying? It was the whole town, like, this is sundown town. Oh, you still here? And the whole town coming together and we gonna string you up. You know what I'm saying? And so it was a lot more precarious, and so in that aspect, you know what I'm saying, because we are dealing with people on a bit of a different level, where it's like, hey, the council culture, you know what I'm saying, which is one of the videos, which when we get to the video, that's what she's going to claim at some point, um, and just that stigma of, oh, I don't want to be labeled that way.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Like, own up to who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like for real. Don't deny it. Like, if that's who you is, just like roll with it. Like, stand on it. That's what you say. Look, I'm gonna stand on mine. Like, stand on it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Just stand on it. So yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and play one of those videos and get
All
into
right.
this.
Yeah,
Because
so we're going to go ahead and get into this first video. Many of you may have seen it. I'm going to play an extended version of it. A lot of times we consume this information online, however we consume it, and it's a shortened video clip. And so sometimes some of the context can be taken away, or people will show the shortened version to kind of show their narrative. I think it's important for us to show the entire video, and I'll pause it in between. Let me go ahead and put up our fair use thing, because that's important. Fair use for training or educational purposes. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use and the purposes such as permitted, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that out of the way, like I said, for context, I think it is important. So this is video one here. Let's go ahead and get that going.
Okay, no, it's you. It's you. Now you. Oh my God! Oh my God! Do you see this? Oh my God! I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me, and now she. Did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God! Karen, Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you. You should have thought about that before you did what you did.
Like I said, I'm going to pause, throughout this a little bit. But, one of the things is, you see, this is Victoria's Secret. So this is all women in here. I have been the man in here holding the purse, just saying. I know about Victoria's Secret. But, if men do come in at this point out of context, what they see is a white woman in distress and the black woman standing there, and she is the aggressor, right? And so, just continue to watch the video here.
It don't even feel real. This do not feel real. Y'all got to get security. She charged. Oh, you just wanted security for me, right? No, don't cry. No. I want you to call security. I have to I just can't get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail, and I got to pick up my Converse boots from Nordstrom. I don't know why this doesn't happen.
The narration is crazy. I just came to get my free panties and my boots from Nordstrom's. But again,
I'm gonna wait.
Call security on her, right? Mm-hmm. And now that it's flipped because she attacked her, it's please don't call, right? And we know that can be a death sentence for black people, calling security, calling the police on us, right? And so she was all willing to go ahead and do that. And now that the table is turned and there was actually a camera to film her, now it's, oh my God, please don't,
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to say something, Ram? Hey, I know you're laughing.
What we're seeing right here is a behavior that has, and see, what we was just talking about, huh?
Teal comes to mind when I see this.
Yeah. Also, but look, I'm finna show you a connection, right? Check this out, right? You said 5 minutes late, you gonna get a whooping. You know what I'm saying? We would tease each other. Ooh, you gonna get a whooping. You did this or that, right? We gonna discipline our kids. You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep them in check, right? What I see right here is a little, 5-year-old child that has been allowed to, continue with that type of behavior. She learned at a very early age that if I just, and I start breaking down crying, that, I'm going to get out of whatever it is that I've done. So this is learned behavior right here that we're seeing. This is a defense mechanism against being accepting responsibility for her actions. So she's learned that I don't really necessarily have to accept responsibility for my actions if I just break down, and begin to tear up and all this and that on command. Listen to the level of her voice. It didn't sound like a little mouse almost. You know what I'm saying? That's nobody's natural voice. Sound like she on helium. So it's hilarious to me, and it's gonna progress. So I'm gonna be quiet, but it gets a lot funnier. What's gonna happen, like. And I want to speak on that part.
Yeah, we'll play. Let's play, Rev.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to open up the Christmas present.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm scared to in a phone shop. Please. It's scaring me. Like, you gonna go postal. No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this.
So I had to pause here because this is what typically happens, right? So again, she's the aggressor. When the video started, we're gonna call her Karen, right? Because we don't know her name right now. Attacks the black woman, right? And now she is filming to protect herself. And the people who are here the entire time turn and say, leave the white girl alone.
Exactly. Because they're gonna listen. They're gonna, no matter right or wrong, no matter the situation, right or wrong, Karens are gonna stick together. And so I am gonna use Karen right now, even though I don't really like that. But I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Karen, right? Because I really think we got to come up with a better name because we got a lot of sisters named Karen too, and I feel bad, calling them Karens.
Don't get me wrong. Now there are some black Karens. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's
No,
another
no,
conversation.
no. I mean, like, actually, like, literally, like, that's their name. You
No,
know what
I
I'm saying?
but
Like,
I
yeah.
mean that too. Is there
Oh
some
yeah. Okay. But what we see with the lady in the white, she's a you know what I'm saying, a participating Karen as well. Like I said, so she didn't put on the show. You know what I'm saying, of her that learned behavior. Like, hey, I can escape. You know what I'm saying, accepting responsibility for my actions. With this type of behavior and draw sympathy. And so that lady in blue more than likely is a mother. You know what I'm saying? And she, allows her children probably to run wild like we all see, just the same, and get that same type of behavior. I just see like um a huge 5-year-old just standing there, like an overgrown 5-year-old. Like, for real, lady, cut it out. Ain't nobody didn't touch you. Now, if she see it, if I was there, I'm like, look, what black parents say? I'm gonna give you something to cry for. Like, you didn't hit me, I'm gonna give you something to cry for. You better shut up. Acting a fool. But go ahead, bro.
do that could cause you to be shot.
Yeah,
right? Or
exactly.
something up into that situation, right?
Yeah.
So
because they respond to that type of behavior from one another. And if you see, you got at least, I think, 2 or 3 other women standing there at the counter. Now none of that. I mean, okay, so she just turned around like, oh, why don't you just leave or whatever? But like, none of them, like, just like, they just all nonchalant. Just, I'm gonna keep shopping and this and that. Like, this woman just is expressing like, hey, you just hit me, and she's freaking out, but nobody cares that somebody just got assaulted, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, we're just gonna keep do what we're doing. And if you notice her body movement, she's moving closer and closer, to those other women from where she initially started, as she was, initially a lot closer towards the camera. She's moving progressively that way, looking for a reinforcement of her behavior. And she just got it. So now she has a license to continue. And it's because of that, those reinforcements or whatever, that puts us in those dangerous situations. Like the lady, the lady Karen from New York, the guy walking his dog, and
Right.
she's sitting here abusing a dog and all this other stuff, and start flipping out, and they can do that on cue, on demand, all the time. It's ridiculous.
And while it's funny to watch it, kind of at play, this is particularly dangerous for black men, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
And again,
Ooh.
it makes
Ooh.
me think of Emmett Till, as I said before, and all the black men that have been in the situation where they've had false accusations against them. And I've talked with countless black men. I've had the situation, right? And when there's no one else around to see what happened, it doesn't matter, right? It goes from, you could be the most upstanding person that everyone knew you to be, and then there's an accusation out there, and it's like, well, I mean, believe all women, me too, right? Should we believe this woman? And so for people that are actually in danger, right, they make it bad for people that are actually, truly victims. And that this is deadly. And so it's disgusting for me to watch. But go ahead. What were you gonna say, Reverend?
So what you're saying is you can go from Bill Cosby to Bill Cosby.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna leave that there. But anyway, go ahead.
Right. Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go. This is crazy.
This part.
So she clearly didn't faint. She put her purse down as a pillow so that she can faint on the pillow purse.
Yeah, that's what they call swooning back in the the good old days.
Yeah.
But if this is an elevator, if this is outside of a bar, outside of the women's bathroom, if you went on a date with this person, right? And then she did this, right? The men, our own men, would come to her defense and you would be in danger, right?
Yeah.
You could get killed by another black man defending this woman who is here faking.
Yeah, like, man,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's that dangerous.
Yeah. And they do this on like I say, on demand. Do you see that? It's like, okay, let me lay here. Like, for real, what is that? What are you doing? Like,
that's scary. That's scary shit, Rev.
Yeah.
That is scary.
Yeah, it is. But you're right, because I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm very protective of women, because I seen, my mom get physically abused in relationships. So I'm real protective of women. And like, if I come up on a situation and I see like a woman just hysterical, you know what I'm saying? Now in this type of instance, like, if I tend to read situations. So, I'm gonna look like, okay, distance, this and that. I'm gonna look at different stuff. But, it will instantly draw my attention if I see a woman being hysterical, you know what I'm saying, and a man, like, in proximity and they dealing with one another. Yeah, it's gonna draw my attention. I'm not the type that's just gonna, fly off the handle, because I'm smarter than that. And I'm a, observe, and see what's what. But yeah, this is scary, because a lot of people aren't as reserved.
And you've been Reverend Ellington for a while. If you were south side of Chicago, Michael, then that might be a whole different thing, walking past and seeing that situation, especially if that was a sister. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, most of us aren't, God-fearing, following the Bible, all reserved, able to, analyze a situation before just reacting, right?
Yeah.
Most of us aren't in that space, right? And then we're told, well, you're not a man if you don't, defend and provide safety in these situations, right? Is it like I said, this is particularly deadly.
It is. And even for,
I don't have sons.
And even in this day and age, you know what I'm saying, I would say even for a woman, this is dangerous, because somebody could come up and read that as, you know what I'm saying, a one of those lesbian, couples, going through a tick, and like, okay, still you got a black woman, and they like, okay, she's abusing, and think like it's a lover spat, and the black woman is being aggressive or whatever, and try and defend her off of that basis. There's a lot of different, scenarios for this, so yeah.
Well, we're gonna get into such a scenario after this video, so stay tuned.
Okay.
I had one who was trying to just find a price check for one of them. This one I had. Okay, I'm gonna leave her here. Actually, I have a coupon for the free fanny, and it says everyone is excluded except for the free fanny. But I actually want to see what that was. I can show you. Okay. I can't.
Bye, Karen.
You keep lying, saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself.
Where's security? Oh, you want me to pause?
Yeah.
Go
so
ahead.
Now, for me, it been long, then went on way too long, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's reverse shoes. That's a black woman acting like that. The employee's gonna put her out. Like, look, you need to leave. Ain't nobody then said nothing to this woman. She's sitting here acting a plumb fool. Yep. Ain't nobody said nothing. They just going on about their business. Despite the fact that she done already assaulted one customer, you know, and which I'm hoping, you know, Black Twitter, you know, drag Victoria's Secret, you know what I'm saying, and you know, drag them, because like y'all ain't said nothing. Y'all letting this woman just straight act a plum fool up in here. And this supposed to be like upscale, you know, luxury, you know, lingerie and all this and that or whatever. And y'all just sitting here letting this go on, like for real. And then everybody else just, you know, going and shopping and like, is this normal behavior?
Well,
Like,
here's the thing. The only thing that was said was to the black woman, leave her alone. Leave the white woman alone.
well, she ain't did nothing to her.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Crazy lady. And she attacked me and try to say I attacked her. You look at this. Get away from me. Oh, God,
get away from me, but I'm charging you.
Get away from me. You got you're security. Security. Look at this. Yes, can y'all get her away?
Ringing.
Get her away from me. Get her away from me! No, I gotta just protect myself. She's trying to attack me. No, no, no.
Thank God she was recording.
See, she said,
yeah.
I'm not saying nothing to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, me, once the law get here, who they gonna believe? Her white ass or my black ass?
That's real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Where is security in this short hills, y'all? Oh my God, in this short hills.
She found the right one, because I wouldn't have been running back like you charging up on me. Go ahead.
But again, you can't tell your sons to do that.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so all right, people, listen. Don't listen to the hyperbole that I speak, all right? Because like you know.
Don't tell me what to do. She said I threatened her. Well, I don't give a fuck about her being sick. I'm worried about
See, now you got another white woman protecting her. This is the second one, different one.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right, Sabrina. This is unbelievable. It couldn't even be real unless it was recorded.
So I was
and you see,
almost attacked in the mall. The manager, I had to run behind her. I chased him around. He telling me he can escort me to my car, but she's not. She doesn't have to leave the mall. I'm not finished shopping. I have 2 other stores to go to.
I don't work for the mall. I can't order her out.
Yeah, but you work for Milburn. I was just.
Whenever had the police not had jurisdiction to take out someone who has assaulted someone, attempted assault, right? And that's how the video started. She was assaulting her and is acting crazy in the store. And now all of a sudden he has no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
It's then when they have power, when they don't have power.
And well, they got power when they're dealing with us. Another thing, like if you look at his face, if you go back just a little bit and you look at his face when it first started, you know, showing him or whatever, he just got this face like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I don't care, you know. And then like again, if Victoria's Secret would have like said trespassed her, he got every single legal right to like drag her up out of there. If Victoria's Secret, like, look, we don't want her up in here, you know, she acting a plumb fool. So obviously Victoria's Secret, they, you know, as well sympathizing with her also.
You know what I'm saying? Disturbance, yes.
Yeah.
Charges, there'd be 10 charges.
Yeah. I was just finna go there. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that. If the shoe was on the other foot and I would have tried to attack her,
look at his face. Look at his face.
Put it out this mall. And that's just how I feel. This woman, mind you, the manager told him. The manager told me he chased, huh? I do feel that way.
Saying that bullshit. I don't curse too much. You know, I'm really careful what you Rev, but you know, I wish you didn't feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you expect me to feel? And it's almost as if he doesn't know what's going on in the world, in the United States, right?
Oh, he knows.
I know he knows.
He's clearly aware. And so what we're seeing right now, you know what I'm saying, is them, you know what I'm saying, trying what they always do, you know what I'm saying, try and make us feel like we crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you crazy. What are you talking about? I can't do nothing like that.
Why
We
would
can't
you
just
even
do,
record? What's the
yeah,
issue?
yeah, you know, like we need to, you know, correct our behavior somehow when, like, for real, like, I'm the only sane one here. Like, you ain't even acting sane right now. What's your crazy problem? Arrest this lady.
And when you talked about Victoria's Secret, you know, it looked like one of the store employees was a black woman, and I don't even see her coming and supporting her own and saying, "Hey, look, I saw everything. I'm an employee here. This is what happened." She is allowing her to fend for herself, and so we have to do that. We can't be hysterical when we're doing that. I see too many videos where we're, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. How could you, you know, and they're just going on and raising the drama level. You need to be composed and record and then be able to articulate what's happening and not add to the crazy, you know, because it doesn't help anything. And don't talk over the video because that's evidence that's needed. So you hear people narrating and cursing all over the video, and then that stuff can't be used or they have to mute it out. No, you need to capture all of this, right?
Yeah. Just let the, as long as they don't put their hands on you, just let them go ahead and carry on and just sit there and like, and hey, those of you who are watching, and I get this from Uncle Roro. Listen, y'all, don't record like this. Turn it like this so you can get everything. You know what I'm saying? You want to get everything. Turn your phone like this and record, okay?
Right.
Record like this. You know, go landscape mode. Don't do portrait. Landscape, all right?
Keep that thing charged. You know you get a new phone every other year. You better keep that other one as your camera.
Look, come on now.
I do feel that way. I was just
And go live too, because they like to take your phone and delete the video.
Yes.
Can't get out.
You have any concerns?
But I'm gonna do this lady. This the lady they won't kick out the mall. I'm a dog. I want to see if she act up in front of y'all, what y'all would do.
Well, like you said, she turned it on and off, right? Quiet as a church mouse now.
So he's telling me that, first of all, the manager already said she tried to attack me. I want her to be.
Stop. You see why? She quiet because him right there. She's sitting here giving him this whole spiel. You know what I'm saying? And she still teared up. She ain't being as dramatic, but she over there, you know, you can see her face red. Even that little dot right there, just red as a plum. Oh, you know, this and that. And, you know, of course, you know, he feeling like, you know, he got to be Captain Save a crazy witch. But go ahead.
Yeah. Rev, you know, we watching this video. I'm like, are you Marwan and I'm the Rev?
I did not cuss.
Yeah, you gonna be charging me, and you the crazy. All right, we done had a role reversal. Hey, I'll pull out your Bibles. We're gonna get into Genesis 1:1. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten. Let me go ahead and get through this thing.
I don't understand why she can't be escorted out the mall. She tried to attack me twice. She should be escorted out the mall. Okay. No, she should be escorted out the mall. She tried to attack me twice. You doing that because she white and she crying. I am nowhere near. I don't have to move. I'm not breaking any rules. Now you get so aggressive.
Right. Now you gotta move.
Like that.
And my thing is, why is y'all surrounding her, taking her story instead of surrounding the black lady? Like, listen, let's find out what's going on. Like,
chase, and the manager told them that she chased me, and they don't want to do anything but listen to her crying. Mind you, she crying. She chased me around the school. I should be crying. I got chased.
See, in their mind, they didn't already decided who's, you know what I'm saying, the victim and who ain't. You know.
Right. And they protected her, right? They surrounded her, protected her, took her statement first. They've got other, you know, customers and employees in the store, and they still listen to her version first, which we know is going to taint the situation, right? Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. And that's what they do.
Initial video that you took.
Yeah, I sure can. Can I have the email and the case number, please, for today? Because I'm definitely going to go straight. Just because of your partner's smugness.
What's that?
Yeah, the way your partner looked back at me like, oh, like I don't have time for that.
And she handled herself beautifully. She
Yeah.
kept her voice at the same level. She stated what was fact. She didn't add a whole bunch of extra drama. She's not doing a whole bunch of cursing.
Yeah. You know, and you know, see, this is what they call those. And look, he walking off with her, you know, escorting her, you know. But these are those dog whistle tactics, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, we know what's really going on. We can't, maybe can't like always, you know, like label it, but we see what's happening, and we know, you know what I'm saying, what's happening, and they know that we know. But it's like, you know what I'm saying, like,
I hear what you're saying, but there's nothing that's done about it because
no,
they tell you that that's not what's happening to you. You're
yeah,
crazy. That's not your experience, right? Then they charge you. You don't have the money for an attorney. You don't have the familiar support, right? So you end up taking a plea bargain. They end up overcharging you, and you end up doing the time. You've lost your job. You've lost your significant other. Maybe you lost your wife, right? And now you're in this situation, and your whole life has been fractured because of an incident like this, right?
yeah. Yeah, and now you regulated to being a second class citizen. You
Well,
know,
probably a fourth because you already were second.
well,
Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's at the police station now.
Somewhat true, but really wrong. I'm happy I did record because even the officer stated that I only showed him the video of her laying on the floor. And I showed him everything. Oh, and guys, I have her name in. Gotcha, bitch. 2 names.
Abigail.
It's really, really long. You see this? And mind you, they took her statement first because of course she called the police. She completely lied.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to say I started videotaping her, causing her to have a panic attack. At which time she followed me to try to get me to stop recording. So I'm filing a complaint against the 2 officers that responded. I didn't feel protected. I'm also filing a complaint against what you call the mall security. Victoria's Secret, it's like, in my opinion, like what do we expect them to do? Like grab this woman and the manager even sent somebody to walk down to get security because they were taking too long. So I don't really
Yeah, you saying that security was a black guy too?
Now, if they give us problems getting the video and all that, then we'll talk about certain things. So, that'll be another story. But yeah, I'm gonna read this in its entirety.
So, you got to take the time out. You got to file the police report. See, that's the one thing that we don't do that they will do, right? They'll press charges on the most simplest of things. And for us, we just want to be done with our day, right? Think of how her day went. This could have been on her lunch break. She could have had to get home to go and get the kids. Whatever her situation was, now going into Victoria's Secret to use a coupon has now turned into, hey, she probably was in that store for over an hour, right? You're hungry, You got a headache. Now you got to follow a police report. You got to go through all that. Now you got to come down to the police station. And for a lot of us, right, we're living check to check. So that means she's going to take off more time to go and take care of this. But we got to follow through on it. If we want change, we got to put in the time and put in the work, even though it's an inconvenience. And it's important that we support each other in that way.
Amen. Amen. Totally agree with you on that one, bro.
Listen to this. I spoke with Miss Crazy Lady in a live show that I spoke to the store employee that day corresponded that what Miss Lucinda said what Miss Lucinda had said happened. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. That Miss Blank seemed to acknowledge that she was wrong, saying she was concerned about losing her job and apartment if the video posted online.
So that's all she was worried about.
See this?
Mm-hmm.
She was having a panic attack about the videotaping. I advised her that Miss Kempton has a right to videotape. I asked her several times if she was all right and if she needed an ambulance, and she declined repeatedly. She kept us.
So she needs an ambulance. Are you okay? No one asked her if she's all right. She tried to assault me twice. Are you okay, ma'am? Do you have any issues? Are you having a panic attack? This has to be traumatic for you to have to go through.
Exactly.
All the images we've seen over the past year.
Oh yeah. And that's why I said they don't give us time to process our trauma. You know what I'm saying? And so, like you said, as a black person, she's dealing with, what I'm saying, everything, not just over the last year, but just look from life. You know what I'm saying? Period. And we don't really get time to process that trauma properly, or have, a breather from it. You know what I'm saying? An escape from it. There's nowhere in this country we can really go to have a true escape from, the constant, fear we live in. You know what I'm saying? And that's legitimate. That fear is legitimate. So, but yeah.
Expressing her concern about her job and apartment. She finally stated that she was going home, and I asked if she would be okay to drive, and she says she was. At this time, Miss left the mall voluntarily with mall security. That's full name, man. Escorting her. I then walked over to Mr. Kenton and gave advice of the procedure for signing a complaint with the court and asked her to email. He didn't. So
I got to pause, right? When we go back to Emmett Till, the whole thing is, what was said was he brushed on her shoulder on an accident and then ran out of the elevator. And then she went and she said, oh, he touched me, right? And then the mob came out and then they killed him, right? And I did a podcast and I actually showed the open casket and had a conversation about it, right? And so you'll have white women that'll say, oh, he raped me, or he did this and he did that, and the mob goes and then they kill the black guy, right? Or, in modern day, oh, he did this, that, and the other, and then that person is destroyed, right? And they go to prison and everything else. And so here, what this ended up being, right, because she didn't want to, get found out that she was having a relationship. There was a college student a few years ago. I think there were a couple boys that had, they had sex with this white girl, college student, and she had multiple sexual partners. I guess they had to train or whatever. And she said, oh, I got raped. And it came out later that it was, consensual, that's what she wanted, and she was embarrassed because her boyfriend was going to find out or whatever. And so now, to protect herself, then she comes and lies, and here you go. Here it's like, well, I thought I was going to lose my apartment and my job, so I made this big elaborate display in front of everyone because of that, right?
Yeah
Particularly insidious and dangerous.
Yeah. And in fact, horrible. But did you just hear what she read off the report? Like, the cops told her, look, this is the process you go through to file a complaint. Like, so you're telling, the one that's acting a fool, creating all this commotion and blowing stuff out of the, out of proportion, just acting ignorant like a little 5-year-old. Oh, this is how you go and file a complaint. What does she have to file a complaint about? Nothing. Where's y'all at, on like trying to help the sister out? Because she the one, that's really, like going through it. Yeah.
Raymond says, I love how the enemy turns into the victim when her eyes are on them and exposed, seen for what he or she truly are. Yeah, you know what? That's facts. You had brought up the woman in Central Park, right? She said, I'm gonna call the police and tell them you're trying to do something to me. Hey, police, you choking the dog. I'm in danger. Come down, right? and she turns it on when she needs to, and then turns it off immediately once they're there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, me yelling and screaming wasn't enough, so I'm gonna slowly pass out onto my purse and look. So I'm even more hurt and injured now. Oh, that's not gonna work. Okay, let me start yelling some more and chasing her around the store and just being hysterical. I got a little bit of attention from that, but I didn't get enough. The right people weren't up in there. So that could have played out so many different ways. As we'll see. So it is particularly dangerous. And again, for those of you that have, black boys, right? You have to have these ongoing conversations with them, because you can find yourself in these situations and their life's over and they do not care.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like I said, this is something that, she learned, as a child. This behavior was allowed by her parents, so she perfected it. And now on instant, she could turn it on and turn it off. She can turn the spigot on and turn it off on demand, and that is, ridiculous, but it happens. Like, come on, for real, man. Just, ooh.
Mm-hmm. I have that on video too. So, you explain to me how to file a complaint. I gotta look at the. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna look at that video again. I remember having to really.
No, they didn't. She asked for the case number, right? She had the wherewithal to say, I needed a case number so that I could file it. She had to figure it out.
There's an email video. Say, you did ask for the email.
Read it. They will lie in their statements all the time.
Oh yeah. Not all the time, every time.
Left the scene. PO4 was completely and utterly dismissal of me engaged. 2, you know what about what was happening to me? You can even see, look at all this concern for the state. Nobody asked me, was I all right? Did I need medical attention? Well, they knock out anxiety too, and it's want to send me into a panic attack.
If this is textbook on how you should deal with the situation, stay calm all the way through, document everything, share everything, and make sure you go live. That's important. Keep your battery charged, people.
You won't be investigating.
So for context, she's talking to the officer now. So she's at the police station. They've given her the police report that was filed. She's read it over, and now she's talking to the police about the complaint to give you some time.
The sergeant.
Yeah.
So you asking me why I'm complaining on your officers, and I'm telling you I can show you a video, but you're telling me you don't want to see the video.
What is it?
Now understand, I gotta pause it here, because if you are about justice, then you would think he would want to watch the tape, right? I need to see what your officers have done, or what my officer may have done, right? But I want plausible deniability, because if I don't watch that video, then I get to say that I haven't seen it. See, they will always protect themselves, and they know the law, right? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. You don't say anything. You don't know how this stuff is going to get twisted and turned onto you, right?
Yeah.
So here's the flip side. Here she is filing a complaint against the woman and the officers, and I don't even want to see the tape, because I need that plausible deniability. Otherwise, I have to testify to what I actually saw. And what he saw was an apathetic officer that didn't give a damn, that said a bunch of stuff that wasn't true, like, oh, we can't have her leave the store. Like, this is private property, and da-da-da-da. She's disturbing the peace. She tried to assault me, right? In a DV case, you call the police are called, someone got to go to jail, right? Now all of a sudden, the police are powerless. That's bullshit. Yeah. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. And this part right here, where, like, she's, like you said, she's at the police station. She's talking to the sergeant, right, which is pretty much their supervisor. Mm-hmm. And I've seen so many videos of this, saying same thing, where you try and make a complaint, and they actively try and dissuade you from doing that, make it as hard as possible or whatever. And sometimes we'll even, if they have a way they'll destroy that complaint. So you have to follow through on it as well, and don't be afraid to go up the chain. Yeah, like you said earlier, if things are going to change, we have to make noise more than just rattling the saber. We gotta use the playbook against them. And that's what they don't want to do. They made the playbook, but they only made it pretty much in the hopes that they would be the only ones to use it. But we have to learn to start using the playbook against them.
And here's the other thing too, is she's by herself, right? So she's recording, which is great, but you have to make sure that you have people in your life that are going to give you sound counsel and advice and support, right? So we all have had that friend that's high strung, or even talking like the Rev 30 minutes ago, like, hey man, if she did that, I'd have done this. That is not the person you want to bring with you, right?
Listen, okay, again, that was hyperbole. Don't listen to. Look, what I may joke about and what I do in reality is two different things. Okay, and so,
right,
but I understand.
Yeah, we're joking, but it's important for people to know, because that's the person that likes the drama will be the one that'll go to the police station with you. Oh no, it ain't gonna go down like that, because that doesn't help anything, right? So
No.
you got to be smarter, and we have to, like you said, we have to follow through. We got to know what we're doing and bring the right people so that we can have the result that we want, right? So this behavior stops. So, because this is dangerous. This can be fatal. This can destroy someone's life. And so it is important to do. But I love the fact that she recorded this and followed up so that we can see all of this, because typically this is a 2 or 3 minute news story max. And so they see the whole thing. And that's why it's not enough for you to say, hey, police reform and police brutality is what needs to change. No, change. It's the entire system, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and continue to play this, but this is, the probation officer, the DA, the district attorney. This is, the jury pool and jury selection, right? This is how, someone is charged. This is, the bail, and how, class and money and all these things are involved, and how 95% of cases are pled out because people can't afford an attorney, right? Or if you can't afford an attorney, an attorney will be appointed to you, right? And they've got this caseload of 250 to 300, and they're just trading your cases, right? They've overcharged you with 5. You take this one, you go ahead and do that. Yeah, you lost all your rights and this and that, but maybe we'll give you probation and out you go, right? We just wanted to make sure that we gave you that scarlet letter. Now we're good. All right. So we took your teeth out, right? Now, okay, next, and that's if they just took your rights and just took your teeth out. Otherwise, if they want you, you're going to go ahead and do some time on top of it.
Before you
go ahead,
one more thing. No, go ahead. It's fine. Go ahead.
Right,
I'll save that.
I was in the mall. Basically, they didn't protect me. They didn't try to make fun of the woman that attacked me and chased me around the store. They didn't ask her to leave or anything. They said they weren't able to. They weren't able to ask her to leave the mall. I've never heard of such a thing. But if I was chasing her around the store, I'm sure I would have been asked to leave the mall and or arrested. And I showed him the video.
Why do I believe that?
Because
who gives a damn why? That's irrelevant.
I'm play this game again today. This happens to me Saturday. I'm very emotional about it. Okay, I'm asking you. I want to file a complaint against you two officers. You said I can do that with you, right? That's an easy.
What does he say?
He's going to give her the IA, the Internal Affairs Complaint form. So now there's another form that she needs to fill out. See, that's the game that they play, right? It's the paperwork game. And typically most of us,
tape.
Like, man, I ain't got time for this. I'm good, follow through with this.
And to answer his question, why do I believe that? You believe it because you see the video evidence of it. That's why. The camera ain't lying. I ain't doctored this up and green screened it. Like, here you go. And that's why he didn't want to watch it, because he could say, why do I believe that? Why should I believe you? You know, these three upstanding fine white folk all, you know, say that, you know, you lying and you crazy, and you know you need to you know, just go on and let sleeping dogs lie. You know,
But it's also
yeah,
not germane to the case, right? It has no relevance on what she thinks, right?
yeah,
Opinion means nothing. This is the
yeah,
fact. This is
yeah,
what happened, right? So
exactly.
this needs to. I'm forming a complaint. I'm not in the political or in the judicial arena, so my opinion doesn't matter, right? This is what happened. I need to file. So, you know, watch the tape. That's what you need to do. That's all I need you to do.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Hey, see, that was a black guy.
See, I'm gonna need a lawyer. Anybody
The sergeant was.
Yeah.
So point me in the right direction. Please help me. You see how this is going.
Shameful, shameful, shameful.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, again, a lot of times, let me go ahead and pause this here. We will protect the institution. That's why I talk about the, you know, people talk about dismantling, you know, racism. But what we're talking about, dismantling institutions of racism and white supremacy. In order to do that, you've got to dismantle it, and you've got to get past the gatekeepers, right? You saw a gatekeeper in the female black employee at Victoria's Secret that didn't come up to the cops, from what I saw, and said, hey, no. The black lady was absolutely right. This is what this lady did. She attacked her twice, da-da-da-da-da. You need to do what you know, get her out of the store, charge her, do whatever, right? That was the first one. Then she comes down, she actually files the report, and this guy wants to play, you know, judicial games with her and say, well, why do you believe that, right?
Yeah.
Why is that an issue? Well, you know what? You need to go now and fill out another form. That's what you need to do.
Okay, so that's what he said. Why do you believe that? I thought he said, why would I believe that? Okay,
No,
I got
why do you believe it? You justify it to me, right? So that's a tactic that they do, right? They'll say things like in regards to the white woman, they'll say, well, why would she lie? Right? We've heard this a lot. Why would she say this? Why would she do that? What would be her motivation to do that? Because, you know, I mean, she doesn't want to go through this and she doesn't want to go through that. And we see all this clout chasing and mental health issues and everything else, right? Nothing that woman did was rational. So how do you explain that? You can't explain that, right? But then they try to force us to explain that. And they say, hey, we can't see how she would have done something like that. So if it wasn't recorded, no one would have believed that.
Yeah. Right? And no matter, and even if it is something that is, you know, rational that somebody would do, they still put you in the predicament of playing your own attorney. Like you got to prove the case to the officer, then you got to turn around and prove it to the DA, then you got to prove it to the judge. You know, you got to prove it to society. You know that, hey, I'm the victim here. You know. Regardless of what it is that happened, you know, even, you know, like you said, something as insane as this crazy. Well, she ain't crazy. I ain't even, because it's an insult to, you know, mentally ill people. This lady knew exactly what she was doing. You know, she knew exactly what she was doing. And as I said, this is a learned, you know what I'm saying, behavior. She has been allowed to cultivate that skill, you know what I'm saying, to be able to turn the faucet on and off like that, you know. And yes, it is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous.
What Reverend said was appropriate, right? I love how the enemy turns into the victim. That's really what it is, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, the aggressor, right? The perpetrator, the predator flips the script, and then, oh my God, I you know what I'm saying, if that had been a black man, I can only imagine what would have happened. But Zulu says a true predator only attacks for hunger, territorial, or protection of the infants or one another. A creature that is afraid will sometimes attack because of fear, anger, frustration, or hatred. Okay. So now I want to play you the second one. And I told you I was going to switch out the second video. So Rev, he sent me a video to kind of juxtapose I said that horribly wrong. I'm not going to repeat it. The video we just saw, but I got one that is particularly worse. So I'm going to just tell you, the images you are about to see are offensive. They're disturbing. And so I want to put that warning out there. One of the things that very, very much frustrates me is they will show us being killed on TV like it's some kind of, snuff film. It just seems like they get off on watching us be brutalized and tortured. And then they say, well, the images that you might see may be offensive to some people. Go ahead, Rev.
Give me 1 second before you start. All right. So, sorry, you guys.
This is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as yada, yada, yada. But those of you that are watching, what's your thoughts on that first video before we play the second one? Because, again, if you have sons, if you're a black male in this world, this can be how your day goes, and you didn't even see it coming. She literally just went in there to use a coupon, I think, to buy some period panties and get some boots, and this is what that turned into. And I mean, it literally can be that fast. And when we're talking about
what I come into,
but let's go ahead and get into this video because we're getting a little long here. But this one is a lot shorter, but a lot more disturbing. So I do want you to know that. But again, in the news, they just say, oh, these images maybe. It's like, no, there is no maybe to it. We're being gunned down. We're being brutalized. We're being tased. We're being beat. We're being assaulted. All these things are happening. There is no may. We are.
And I told you, I think we were talking about that. I was telling you how they keep on making these slave movies. It's like pornography for them. They get off on this stuff. Like why constantly? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just getting it up on the screen.
Okay.
This is Walmart, another place that a lot of us go to. This was July 4th. Probably getting ready for the barbecue, right? Now remember, they've been called on scene, so they don't know what's going on. Okay, so I got to pause right here because the police walk up from behind her and immediately grab her. She wasn't doing, they're both yelling back and forth, right? There's two parties. One party's yelling at another party. There's a man standing in between them. She has not done anything, but you've got an officer grab her from behind. She doesn't even know who's grabbing her. What would be your reaction? Okay, I just want to give some context to that because people tend to miss how this thing even started. The officer just got there. He's reporting to a disturbance, just like at Victoria's Secret. So immediately we already have a different reaction. He's already handcuffing her. You're about to be detained too.
So please, when I walk up, don't aggressive towards them. We're gonna walk into the car.
When I walk up and you're going aggression toward them, they were aggressive toward each other verbally. But we're putting you in cuffs immediately. I immediately come on, grab you from behind. Now this is a woman.
Right now, harassment.
pulling away. I got you right now, so I'm not pulling away from you. I'm
We're gonna go to the office.
Why they gonna jump me? Wow.
Go to the office.
You would be fine. Women Esau would beat your ass. I would beat your ass.
And her kids are there. Her pregnant sister's in the white. Why is he arresting her? She didn't even do anything. What did she do? What did she say? See, we're treated like animals. And their kids are there.
What?
Our pregnant sister is on the ground, manhandled by the cops who didn't need to be arrested. She had the kids, she had the dog, wasn't saying anything. Surprised her arm's not dislocated. Private area exposed, right in the middle of Walmart. So this is how we do black women, right? She tried to bite him. Oh, did you just try to bite me, bitch? That's what's on his face. All right, Rev. I did some narration through it, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you. Your thoughts on that? You take a moment. Just let me know.
Yeah. Wow. That's it's that's disgusting. It's foul. I couldn't do that job, what I'm saying, if it required that. You know, like, come on. You know, um at one point, when he was first starting to trying to arrest the sister and he's pinning her down, and I see him, pressing into her stomach.
Mm.
You're pressing into her stomach. You trying to kill that child.
Mm.
Purposefully. Intent. That's your intentions right there. There's no other need for you to do what you're doing.
Mm.
And again, like you said, you come up, and like just walk up, boom, you handcuffs, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Sister, you handcuffs, let's go. Now the other, instigators, if because we can say, hey, they both instigated, they both was yelling, they both was, doing the same things. But they're gone. They ain't nowhere by the end of it, they ain't nowhere in the picture no more. And at one point the lady just sitting there leaning on the towels or whatever they was, just casually while watching her get arrested, and like, come on. Now here you have a situation where all things are equal except for one thing, this here.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the outcome. That's disgusting. I cannot stand to see, men, and I don't care, like, what your job is, you ain't got to treat no woman like that, and she clearly said, okay, look, fine, go ahead, put the handcuffs on me, let's go on outside, we talk, get this, squared away, whatever else. She's complying with you. You don't need to have her in handcuffs. If you're gonna detain her, detain the other people too. But that's how they see us. See, all of this here is, it par from the core. These techniques have been passed down, and they still the same to this day. It all comes back from the slave patrols. You out, or you doing something that we don't, agree with, or you getting loud or whatever else, we gonna, rope you up, treat you, tie you up, do whatever, however we feel. We don't care who is in the presence. We have no regard for your child, living, or, I mean, the one that's breathing air, the one that's, in the womb. We have no regard whatsoever for, the children. Again, that trauma that we do not get a breath from. This traumatized me just having to watch it. I imagine, and for me, it elicited a lot of, memories from, my youth. I experienced something like this with my mom time ago. But no here there, that them babies, they shouldn't have to watch that, and but they don't care. They don't care. Again, they just see us as like, hey, par for the core, you black, you wrong. Plain and simple. You black, you wrong. Don't care what the situation is. I figure, what do they say? Shoot first, ask questions later. I'm a cuff you up and, hem you up, rough you up and everything else. I ask questions later. And then guess what? Even if, you was in the right, now because I didn't head to arrest you, I'm going to figure out a way to keep them cuffs on you and keep on saying that, you're in the wrong,
Well, he didn't have to.
And
now
yeah,
she's resisting arrest.
I know.
And she tried to bite me, and any kind of
all
is
I know.
justified.
Exactly. All based off of what you initiated. Stuff
Right.
that you, actions that you initiated, and that's why it has to be a change. It has to be a change. There was no cause for that. You know what I'm saying? At all. At all. You don't treat no women like that. That upset me so bad. Oh no. You do not do that. You do not do that. Like, what justification do you have for that? You
Rev,
know, these come on. Come on. No. I don't care. People argue. They argue all the daggone time.
he
You
should
know,
have
like I said, all things are
identified
equal.
himself. Yeah, he should have came in, identified himself, put himself in between the two parties, and said, "Okay, all right, we're gonna calm down. We're gonna figure out what happened. There's two officers. One is gonna talk to one party, the other one's gonna talk to the other party." But
That's
instead, he grabbed her from behind. You're
that's
already in an
what
argument.
a
Someone,
rational person would do if, you know what I'm saying, it was two white, you know what I'm saying, people. You know, that's what a rational person would do. But this person, you know, being having, you know what I'm saying, the authority, you know what I'm saying, of the city or the county or whatever, you know, feels that I'm going to use this authority in whatever way I deem, you know what I'm saying, necessary. And we'll sort it out at the end because he has no regard, you know what I'm saying, for our woman. And he is learning. See, they, you know, the enemy is learning. See, at one point he thought the most dangerous thing was the man, but he has learned now that the true, you know what I'm saying, danger to him is the female womb, from which we come. That's what he's really afraid of, because he know he's dying out. He's dying. In 50 years, he'll be the minority. He's already the minority. You know, you don't do that. You don't do that to no woman. Like, not like, for real. That's some punk stuff. That's some real punk stuff. You know, you holding them and pressing in on her stomach, and you know she pregnant.
I
You
don't. I
know,
can't see why to arrest the sister in the white.
I don't see
She had a
the.
dog. She had the.
There's no.
She was
There's
walking. She wouldn't even say
no
anything.
reason to detain
Oh,
or
you
handcuff
too.
either one of them. You know what I'm saying? Either one of them. You know. So what? I'm yelling and screaming at somebody. That person yelling and screaming at me as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All things are equal. If you're gonna cuff me, you better cuff them too.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, and this is where the reform has to come in at, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, oh, no matter what, they're right. No, you know, they are human, you know what I'm saying, just like anybody else. They're fallible just like anybody else, and so I should have the right to defend myself no matter who it is that's, you know what I'm saying, perpetrating abuse against me, even if that person is employed as a police officer. If you are perpetrating offense against me, I should have the right as a human to defend myself by any means. I don't care what your employment is. If I go into the doctor's office just because I signed a letter of consent for, you know, a surgery, and they begin to abuse me, do I have to sit there and continue to accept it? No, I have the right to defend myself. So why is it that this one particular occupation has a blank check, you know, to do whatever it is they want? No, that has to be reined in. That power has become too absolute, and that is the problem. And they know that that power is absolute. You know, there's a thing that we were taught in school about, and this is what I was going to say earlier: this separation of powers. You know, in the government, the legislative, the judicial, and the executive branches. Right, this separation of power, so it don't get too great in one hand or whatever. Right, but then when we trickle that down into the local communities, you know, there is no separation, because the judge, the DEA, the chief of police, and everybody else, they all friends, and they buddy. You go into any courtroom, and you know what I'm saying, before the trial gets started, they all gathered around laughing and talking about last week's golf game and everything else. And then now you expect that, you know what I'm saying, me to sit there as a defendant and believe that, you know, I'm finna get a fair shake? No, you know, there gotta be, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna calm down. Mm.
All right. Sabrina says in the chat, he said, turn that off, knowing he was wrong.
Bruh.
I told you I had one for you. This is July 4th. So, you know, for the women that are watching this.
Where was this at? Look like New Mexico.
No, this is Syracuse, New York. As far
New
as
York.
I know. It said Syracuse.com. So, and I actually lived in Syracuse for a while. So that is like kind of my hometown. It was 4th of July. She's in there with her pregnant sister. They got the little dog. They got their kids. You know, they were looking all cute. They were probably getting ready to go to a barbecue. And look how their day went, right? They're going to get resisting arrest, disturbance, assaulting an officer, right? They're about to get so many charges thrown at them, right? And then what they'll do is they'll throw out a few and let them plead down to something. But, you know, she tried to bite officers. They were fighting, right? So, you know, there's probably a felony in there because you're not supposed to assault an officer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everything that he did was justified, right? In the eyes of their laws.
So that's the big one right there. Like you said, the felony. And that's the one they're going to keep. Mm-hmm. Because of what they want to do is legally take your rights. You know, like we were talking about on the 5th about, you know, the 13th Amendment, you know, slavery still being here. You know, once they can get you with a crime, now they can, you know what I'm saying, turn you into a slave again. You know what I'm saying? Whether they got you, you know what I'm saying, in the prison system or not, you know, they didn't turn you back into a slave. You know, first they're gonna physically turn you into one. They're gonna put you in chains and, you know, put you through the system, force you to work. You're gonna lose good time and, you know, get time added and all this and that or whatever else, you know, and they're gonna turn you back into a slave. Then when you come out, you know, you ain't got no rights. You know what I'm saying? You can't vote. You know, you can't, you know what I'm saying, participate in constitutional rights anymore because you have been turned back into a slave now. You know, so that, you know, people think like, oh, I'm winning because I take a plea and I get less time. You know, like, no, you ain't winning because they taking everything from you that really matter. You know, last time I got in trouble, you know, they tried that on me. Oh, well, they said they you know, they'll give you a plea bargain, you know, for you know, they was gonna like it'll still be a felony, like a C-class felony or something like that, you know, like pretty much he tried to, of course, you know, the pretender tried to sell it. Oh, you get to go home and, you know, this and that. You just, you know, it be on your record. And I'm like, no, I ain't taking no plea. I said, look here, you go back and you tell the that lady over there, and I know she can hear me. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it. We're gonna go to trial. You know, and you know, she wasn't too far away, so I know she heard me. I like, come on with it. And he went back over there and come back and say, okay, well, you know, they just gonna drop the charge. I know they is. Look, because I'm not gonna accept no plea deal. You gonna send me to jail? We gonna go through this whole rigmarole. I'm not finna, you know, plead out for nothing. You know, because I know what that meant for me. That I was losing, you know what I'm saying, my rights. You know, like, no, and I know how important they is. You know, I know what, you know, our people have done. You know, they done died for these rights, you know, and bled for them, you know. So no, I'm not finna just give them up. You know, I'm gonna fight for them. And once that was over with, you know, that's when I was like, I'm done fooling around with, you know what I'm saying, the world like that. Cause yeah, no. I understand the seriousness of it, and I hope a lot of our young folk out there start learning the seriousness, you know, of what you know what I'm saying, what they trying to take from you. You know, you may not appreciate it, you know. I'm gonna have to preach on that one. That's a good sermon. See, That's what mm, mm, mm. uh wow, it just was on my tongue. uh it's gonna come back. I gotta grab my Bible. So it was two brothers, they was twins. Wow, name is right on my, why does that happen to me? I'm like, I ain't even gonna talk about it, but I guess God telling me, look, be quiet and save it for the word. Anyway, understand what you got. Don't just give it away so frivolously. I'm gonna leave that one right there.
Well, and the thing I'll say too is where a lot of us get caught up is, you and I had some similarities growing up, right? We get in trouble with the law when we're kids, and then when we're adults, those points continue to add up. So if you get charged again for something, even if you didn't do anything, right? Now something as simple as an assault or any kind of accusation, they're going to overcharge you. Now, all of a sudden, you're looking at 5, 10 years, right? 3 years, 36 months. And it's like, man, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my apartment. I'm going to lose my family. I'm going to lose all these things. I got to take the plead. I don't have the money. And so, it's easy to say that we need to fight for our rights and go down. But they will tell you, right? If you take this to court, we're going to charge you with it all. So either you can take this plea and you can plead to this one, or we're going to go ahead and charge you with all of this. And then when you're looking at it, it's like, man, all right, fine. I'll take the 18 months. It's not 8 years.
I know my nephew right here in Kitsap County got 99 years on some, ain't nothing. He did not kill anybody, 99 years.
Right.
Trust me. I know. It's always a risk, and so I'm not saying that's the norm, what happened with me, I'm just saying I understood
about our folks when they get locked up. They go to jail. It's like, hey, life is, my dad tells me, when I die, son, life is for the living. So don't worry about me. You just take care, Layla, and live your life. Don't, sit there and be sad and be torn up and don't move on with your life. And so that is typically what happens to our men and some of our women that end up going to prison, right? Life moves on. You ain't here. You put yourself in that situation, whether you did or not, you know what I'm saying? And folks got to do what they got to do. They ship you out to a prison in another state, and it's not, it's cost prohibitive to try to come and visit you, right? Either I put money on your books if I do that for a little while, or I don't, relationships aren't as, the way they used to be now. So, it's like, ain't no waiting for you. And, this one's all up in the house and this, that, and the other and whatnot. And you just out there, by yourself. Now you come out and now you're a changed person. There was one, the boy that went to Rikers for stealing, stealing something. Remember that a few years ago? He was on Good Morning America. He ended up hanging himself. And they had so many videos of him being beaten up by the prison guards and the inmates, right? That when he actually got out, he ended up committing suicide because it was too much and he couldn't take it. You know what I'm saying? And so you go in there and then it changes you and you're destroyed. 50% of those that are exonerated are Black. 50%. And when they're let loose, even if you gave them $1 million, which most times they don't, right? I've lost my best years, 5, 10, 15, 20, 40.
Yeah.
Right? And now I'm out. Oh, you're out now. Oh, our bad. Here's some, evidence finally came forward. The woman in Emmett Till, I think she finally
on her deathbed. Yeah, right? On her deathbed.
Never spent a day in jail for what happened to that little boy.
No.
For a lie. And then we continue just to go ahead and just prosecute over accusations without any fact, right? And modern day lynch Black men.
And women. We just watched the video.
And women, right? And women. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to show one more quick video because I don't think you saw this the other day, and I really wanted to play this for you. But, it goes back to that first video with the Karen on the ground who slowly passes out onto her purse and what she was doing. And this is what it looks like when no one is there to capture it, right? And then she says, this is what happened. Sorry about that delay there. Fair use.
Cry challenge. And I want you to watch this fake cry challenge because this is some scary crap, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Hi, do you want to learn to cry? Watch this. First stare, and then slowly make a cry face.
Mm.
That's how to cry.
So, oh, it's more. Okay.
So for me, when I saw that, my mind started really turning more so historically. But when I initially just posted a compilation of it on our Instagram, and let me go ahead and address those people first. Those people that really have a low level of thinking, in my opinion, it is low level thinking. When you seen that, only thing you thought about in your mind was, black men, y'all better stop dating them white women. Look at what they doing. Do you think that every black man in America dates a white woman? No. That is a minority of people, according to statistics. That's not the majority. The majority of
all right, I'll pause it there, Rev. I wanted to that goes back to the first video. And you know, the woman in this situation, she had the benefit of getting it captured from the very beginning. And you know, we always don't have that benefit of it being captured, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and I'm like, holy crap, that is disturbing, right?
It don't surprise me though. It don't surprise me. I mean, I've always figured, they sit at home and practice this stuff. Either that or like I was saying earlier, they in the case of that other lady, she developed that from a childhood because you could see the little 5-year-old in her, what I'm saying, coming out. They practice that stuff. It's not just like spur of the moment. No, they sit and they practice this, because they know that's they get out of jail free card.
Who thinks of that?
Or you know what? Let me rephrase that. Not they get out of jail free card. That's they get out of jail free deck of cards because they gonna play that more than once. Trust me. They don't
down, Rev. That's a
man. Yeah, that's a deck of cards. They gonna keep playing that.
Hey, that's scary. That is scary.
Yeah. How
do you fight
that? Man, like I said, like this, y'all. Hold it like this.
But you're not always in that situation, right? And that's my point of showing that. Sabrina says clearly they're acting like it's okay thing to do because they're recording themselves, right? See, this is the thing now. We're in the age of the cell phone and social media. So now people are actually getting clout off of their bad behavior. So they're showing it, right? It's like, look, man, we ain't never been caught for this stuff. And you always believe us. Imagine now if that was your, Rev, that was your daughter. and she was crying like that. You didn't have any context. And she said, you know, oh, if it was her uncle, oh, he's coming, you coming, right? And so that's what happens. And all of a sudden we have, proximity violence where, the girl says, hey, this happened. And now, hey, the family's coming. The friends are coming. The current or the ex-boyfriend is coming. And now it's this violence, this male on male violence that takes place off of something that was fabricated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is so dangerous. That is so dangerous. And man, it's convincing. If I didn't tell you what that was and I put it, through, hey, this person just did this to her and I just showed you the reaction without telling you that she was faking. Oh, you would well up with that same type anger with watching, the black women being assaulted by the police, right? And you're ready to go get them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what happened. That's what happened with Emmett Till. So here in 2021, you are watching it, and it's like, you know what? No. We've been doing this forever, and we do it for fun. We do this when we want to, and you're going to believe it. My uncle, my father, my friend, my boyfriend, the guy who likes me is going to cape that beta male simp, is going to jump up and come and beat this dude down because, you know what I'm saying? The police are going to come and crush this person. The court system is going to come and destroy him because, well, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And then now, how do we know whether or not it was, truly happened or she's faking it?
Yeah. See, so each one of those that got showed, look, check them off the look. Woof. Look, the boy that cried wolf. You know what I'm saying? Look, there you go. You checked off. Look, man, something go down. You on your own on that one now. You done
right?
showed it. Yeah.
You're at a bar. You're at a restaurant. You're at the mall. This can happen anywhere. You're on a date. You're at her house. She's at your house. It doesn't matter where that happens, right? That could be the potential outcome. And you can't grab your camera fast enough because they'll always say what they say with the police. Well, what happened right before that? What did he do to cause her to act in that way?
Yeah. Well, what didn't get recorded? You know what I'm saying?
That's the default, right?
Yeah.
Sabrina says making it easier to not believe them. I wish that were the case. I think, some people are starting to understand and see, these fake reports for what they are. But it's just like Rodney King. We've been saying this when the Rodney King incident happened, when he was beat damn near to death by those officers. When that happened, black people were telling America and the world, this has been happening to us for decades, right? Yeah. But we had a videotape back then, VCR camcorder recording from way back then. When was that? 1990, something like that, right? Yeah, now here we are,
92, 93.
Then here we are 30 years later with, George Floyd, where we've got cell phone footage of the exact same thing happening, right? And we've been saying since before Rodney King, you had some evidence. We thought things were going to change. You acquitted all the cops. This has happened for 30 years. You have this happen. You think, with George Floyd, things are going to slow down, and instead they just continue to escalate, right? Mm-hmm. And now you got the common citizens that are in on it even more and more. It's just we do have our smartphones and we're capturing it. But even more so, we're seeing these bad actors just record themselves like, yeah, we'll set you up any day of the week, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Who are you going to believe, me or your
ass? I think it's either Amazon or Netflix, the show Black Mirror, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the episodes was like this recall thing or whatever, where everybody, has like a video camera in their eye, in their eyes, and they're constantly recording everything, their whole life, just constantly recording, right? And so I think that's where we're headed, where people, before they walk out the door, like, because you can buy a body camera, off Amazon, $40-$50, and that's where it's going to turn into. Everybody's going to grab their body cam, put it on, cut it on, And be honest, you know, it's shameful, but as a black man, I think that is the most logical and perhaps the most safest thing for us to do is to, you know, perhaps buy our own body cams and wear them, you know, because we know they upload right to the cloud. You know, they start, you know, recording and they just upload to the cloud. And, you know, so that video, you know, we don't have to worry about the police tampering with it, erasing it, you know, and that may be, you know, the safest thing for us right now is, you
Damn.
know, yeah, I know, and that's sad. It's
Hell of
sad.
a solution, Rev.
Yeah, it's sad, but I mean, come on,
Boy.
come on. Like, what else are we
That's
gonna do?
Well, you know, and you'll have folks say, you know, and you'll have black folks say, hey, well, you know, if you're living right, you won't have to worry about that. And it's like, you know, it's not about that. You know, you can get victimized for anything. George Floyd went and spent $20. He had a counterfeit 20 that we don't even know if he was trying to pass or not. He could have got change from somewhere or got it out of the ATM and just went and spent it, right? And he died because he had a counterfeit 20 that got spent that was in his wallet for whatever the reason. So, you know, again,
the first video we watched where the lady sitting there acting Looney Tune, if that lady wasn't being recorded, she would have been, you know, oh, she didn't did everything to this woman. So
what about Central Park? If he hadn't recorded her, she's hyperventilating on the phone. Oh my God, he's attacking me. You got to get her now. And they pull up on the scene, right?
Yeah.
The 12-year-old that got killed in the park because he had the toy.
Tamir Rice.
Yeah,
Tamir Rice.
Within what was it? Less than 3 seconds. He came out and just blew him away.
It was 1.6 seconds.
He pulled up, got out of his car and just shot the boy dead.
Yeah. Same thing with Laquan McDonald in Chicago. Same thing. 6 seconds. Boom. You know. Oh yeah. Always. Yeah. And so our recourse, you know what I'm saying, because our tongue,
the video camera ain't gonna help you with that, Rev.
No, it's not gonna help. It may not help with that, but what it will help with, because you know what I'm saying, obviously our tongues cannot be trusted. You know what I'm saying? Our statements can't be trusted, but you can't deny, you know what I'm saying, the visual evidence. And that's what has proven to be
they do
powerful.
That all the
time. No. Listen to me. So they may, you know what I'm saying, try and change the narrative or whatever else, right? But you got to fight that in the public court. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna try and twist it or whatever else. But when you have that video evidence, you know what I'm saying, no matter how you try and twist it, it's still what it is. It's still what it is.
All right, Rev, you get me triggered now. You know what I'm saying? I said we was going to, you know, end the show and go right into another one, you know, start another one. But now you got me so triggered, I'm just going to play this next one now. I'm like, what you saying, Rev? All right, so let's go into it. Because, you know, to me, it's like, yeah, you got the video evidence, but if you dead, there ain't nothing you can do.
Hold on, before you play that, everybody, y'all got to excuse me. It's my bedtime, so I'm gonna eat a little bit of popcorn because after this I gotta go to bed. So we go. All right, don't think I'm like enjoying watching this. It's just, you know, this is my little snack, you know, before bed. So all right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just brewed a pot of coffee while, you know, that other video was playing because I gotta have my coffee. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use. Fair use. Let's get into this one.
Spoke to the DA after the hearing, and he told us that while he understands the frustration, he was worried about the potential of a hung jury if the case went to trial.
Tonight will be the first night Nashville has ever had a police officer in jail for shooting a black man on duty. That's significant.
The first time.
But a result.
Hold on. Pause right there. Hold on.
Delphi's attorney David Rabin, meanwhile, maintains.
Can you pause it? Okay. What you may have missed, though, he said this is the first time that we're gonna have an officer in jail for shooting a black man while on duty. Okay, so what about all the times they shot black men off duties? You know what I'm saying? Which y'all let them go. If you off duty, you know what I'm saying, we ain't gonna bother you.
No,
But
if they're
anyway,
on duty.
oh,
Remember, this is the first time ever.
yeah, yeah,
This 2021 ever.
yeah, yeah. And that's Tennessee.
It's the South,
You
right?
know, yeah, and which is big, but this ain't the only state that can say that.
Well, you know what? I retract that because Minnesota, I mean, it doesn't matter. North, south, east, west, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't as cut and dry as people make it out to be.
We've all seen the video of the scene in the comfort of our homes. We can slow it down, we can rewind it, we can replay it again and again. No one is holding a gun near us while we do that. Mr. Delkey did not have those luxuries on the road that day.
Delkey was booked today at the Davidson County Downtown Detention Center and will spend the next year and a half in this cell. Once precautionary observation ends, we're told he will be housed here alone for 22 hours of each day. Now, obviously, the Hambrick family wanted to see Andrew Delkey tried and convicted on murder charges.
So when you see this murder, which was particularly heinous, 18 months, and he's not even going to be in general population because they're going to protect him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 18 months.
Chief investigative reporter Bill Williams has been looking into the complicated reasons behind this plea deal. And Bill, a guilty verdict was never guaranteed.
Absolutely not. In fact, far from
Never guaranteed.
it is rare for police officers to be charged, even more rare for them to be convicted. The outcome in the George Floyd case is not the norm.
Find the defendant guilty.
The Derek Chauvin trial ended exactly as hoped for Americans who believe George Floyd's death was a travesty of justice. But the 2016 killing of Philando Castile is also a cautionary tale.
Damn, what is it gonna take? I'm mad as hell right now. Yes, I am. He was trying to get out his ID.
In that case, the officer who shot and killed Castile was found not guilty on all charges.
We also had a very significant chance that the result of that trial would have been something other than accountability.
DA Glenn Funk said his team feared Andrew Delkey's trial would result in a hung jury. While prosecutors did not believe Daniel Hambrick deserved to be shot in the back, the fact that he ran from police and that he had a gun could have been a problem for some jurors.
If it's another trial, it's possible.
So he ran from the police.
Mm-hmm.
He had a gun that, from what I understand of the case, the officer didn't know that.
No.
He's running away, and you shot him in the back.
Exactly.
And that would have been problematic for the jurors.
Yeah. And so it's always, and I like how the news reporters like, a conviction was never guaranteed. Like, when is a conviction ever guaranteed? That's the whole purpose of the judicial system, because it shouldn't be guaranteed for anybody.
And when did they say that about us? Hey, you know what? We don't know if we're going to get a guaranteed conviction, so we're not going to throw the book at them. And you know what? We're just going to just give them something really light, or give her something really light. Just let them off,
Exactly.
When in the world has that happened?
Yes. And now look at all the people here, pay attention to who it is that's, kind of caping for the prosecutor, like, they're right. This is, there was a tricky one. Yeah. Why? They all look the same. Like I said, they all in the courtroom, buddied up. And then when, the trial started, we supposed to believe we finna get a fair shake.
Right.
Yeah.
That's always not the case. That's always a possibility. Leonardo said Judge Monty Watkins recently handed the prosecution a win when he ruled that one of the experts from the Derek Chauvin trial could testify against Delkey. But Watkins also ruled that former DA Tory Johnson could testify he believed Delkey's decision to shoot could be justified. he's basically saying that if I was the district attorney, I would have to prosecute us.
And that could have been persuasive with the jury.
Absolutely could have been persuasive.
Well, the DA says he understands that Hambrick family's pain, allowing Elkie to potentially walk away would have been even more painful.
I was not willing to risk not having a felony conviction, not having him off the force, not having him incarcerated.
The question that came up today deals with victims' rights, which is written into the state constitution. Under those provisions, victims have a right to confer with the prosecutor and to be informed of all proceedings. What they don't get is to make the final decision.
Thanks, bro.
And so that just seems like, that's the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the game that's played. Well, we didn't want this to happen. We didn't want that to happen, and it's always, hold on there. It's always protection of property, right? Property is more important than Black life, for sure. And so we've got to protect that at all costs. And so, hey, we did what we had to do. And, we got 18 months and, he's off the force and, 18 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got a Black woman who had got out of prison. I think she's in her 70s and she didn't know if she could vote or not. So they told her to fill out a provisional ballot, right? And she fills out the provisional ballot, which wouldn't count if there was something wrong with the vote, right? And so it turned out, well, she got out of prison. And so there were some steps that she would have to take because she was still on probation before she can vote. They gave her 5 years, right? Even though she applied for a provisional ballot. So she gets 5 years for accidentally voting, right? And trying to mitigate it by filling out a provisional ballot, but he gets 18 months for shooting a Black man in the back and killing him.
Yeah, and here's the deal, right? Here's the deal, right? This is a plea agreement. So this is what the prosecution offered him was 18 months. Like maybe offer him 5 years. Maybe offer him 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
He got 3 and then he does 18 and that's his good behavior, right? So, but we gave him 3.
3 years still isn't nothing. I mean, we're talking about a human life. We don't know how old that young man could have lived to be. You know what I'm saying? He could have lived to be 90, 100, 120 years old. But 8 year and a half, 3, even if he does the whole 3 years. Like, what is that? He going on a vacation. Like, come on. Like even the plea agreement, you showing his privilege. You're acknowledging his privilege. A young Black life ain't worth nothing but 3 years. 3 years, like you just, and one thing. I don't know if you're gonna play the mom's reaction. Were you planning on playing that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my comments for that on that because I was finna speak on that.
All right, let me get that going. Woo, man.
Yeah. But this is Black life in America. This is what it is for us here. When do we get peace? When do we get a reprieve? A respite for just a little bit. Just a little bit. Go ahead.
I don't know if we do. I got to pull it up. I lost.
Oh, okay. It's fine. It's a shame that this is the norm, and that's why I say we live in a constant state of fear. And anybody ever doubt, the word of God, you go ahead and you read Deuteronomy 28, and you tell me, who God talking to, who he talking about. We live in a constant state of fear every day. Wake up, you walk out the door, you worrying, like you legit, You got license, you got insurance, you know what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing, you ain't carrying nothing, you know, but you know your life ain't guaranteed to make it home, you know, and not at the hands of nobody else, but you know, at those that are supposed to secure our lives, you know what I'm saying? We have to worry if we're gonna actually make it home. But go ahead, play your video.
To voluntary manslaughter instead of going to trial for first-degree murder. Jury selection for the trial was set to begin on Tuesday. That trial, of course, now will not happen if this plea deal is accepted. For a first-time offender, voluntary manslaughter carries a prison sentence of 3 to 6 years. Delkey's sentence would likely be 3 years because he has no previous criminal history. And based on sentencing guidelines, Delkey could be eligible for parole after spending around 15 or so months behind bars. We've also learned that the mother, Daniel Hambrick, did not know about this plea deal before it was announced. Here's what News Channel 5 legal analyst Nick Leonardo says about that process.
Ultimately, the district attorney has to go to the Hambrick family and explain to them why their child's not being and that's a tough conversation. This is the kind of conversation that prosecutors have with these on a regular basis. It's just that there's a lot of news. And I think a lot of times they go over the good parts of the case, the bad parts of the case, where they think that they can a little bit of trouble.
Now, we are told Hambrick's mother is not happy with this plea deal. A plea settlement hearing is set for tomorrow at 9 a.m. That's when we will learn whether the judge sticks to that 3-year sentence and how much of that sentence Delkey may have to serve before being eligible for parole. 11-5 Alert Center, Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
Jason, thank you. Now, this comes just 3 months after Metro Council approved a $2.5 million settlement with Daniel Hambrick's family. It was a record-breaking police misconduct settlement for the city of Nashville. Mayor Cooper released a statement just over an hour ago saying, quote, "Our thoughts are with Daniel Hambrick's family today, who have endured an unspeakable loss. We remain committed to policing reforms and violence prevention in our city."
You know what's offensive about that is they would put a caption up of him like that. Like,
What do you mean?
It's all BS. Look at his smile.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you just
that's his true
settlements.
That's his true demeanor as far as that goes. You know, what does that really mean? Our thoughts are with what thoughts? What are your thoughts? Your thoughts could be good, bad, evil, you know what I'm saying, whatever. What are your thoughts? What does that mean? And then how long are you thinking about, Daniel's family? You know, so what does that really say? Our thoughts are with the, and what is a thought? You know, is it a fleeting thought? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean, your thoughts? That is so just like
offensive,
political. And yeah, so political. So insensitive. You know, and so which I think maybe we could talk about at some point. You know, we have our state attorney Ferguson, you know, brought charges against the officers that murdered the young man in Tacoma. You know, and so we're seeing like this kind of wave or whatever, right? Or we're gonna charge him, right? But I foresaw this with Botham Jean when they gave Amber Geiger 10 years, you know, for invasion into another man's domain and then murdered him. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it doesn't mean anything, you know, that they charge them. It doesn't mean anything that they get a conviction back. If at the end of it all, it's a slap on the wrist. You know, for what you always say, you know, they can plug anybody into those positions and the system's still going to work. We see a black judge, you know what I'm saying, signing off on all of this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm going to still hold my. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll play in the next video. Rev
Okay.
getting tuned up, boy. I ain't got to say nothing. Just let Rev talk for a minute. Rev piss himself off.
Yeah, I upset myself sometimes. You're right.
I can't do it by myself. This is pain that we feeling, man. This is pure pain. And we want the world to know that we're not going to give up. And it's going to take more of us to keep pushing. We got to keep pushing. Damn, we'll live on, man. Damn, we'll live on, man. Paper Strong will live on. This is a movement, y'all. And we ain't finished. But we are sincerely, man, asking community, man, for y'all help. Get on Facebook, Instagram, tweet, CNN, anything that you got to do to get our voice heard. To get all these black people's voice heard right here. I'm not lady right here, Miss Clemens. She's been through this before. And she's still here going through it. It's getting angry. If that ain't love, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is. This shit hurt, y'all. I'm tired of crying. I'm trying to get the phone calls that we one step closer. Oh, we one step closer, y'all. No, we ain't. We're phone line. Every time. As y'all seen today. If today didn't show y'all nothing, it's a problem. Us Harris, man, we are great people, man. We conduct ourselves right. We had a peaceful protest 3 years ago. We did everything right since day one. And this is shit we did 3 years? 3 years ago. That's insane. Please, Nashville, Tennessee, man, all the way across around the world, if y'all hearing this right now, we need y'all. We need to change an election for the people who do elections. Policing. That way better policing. That fake party he gave, that was fake. Them fake tears, them fake. These are real tears right here. These are real tears, y'all. And y'all will continue to hear our voice, man. Y'all will continue to hear our voice because we're not going to give up. Dang, we'll live on. Hammer Strong to his over with, y'all. And that's all I got to say. Of course. It's not fair. They gave it to us. They forced a plea upon us and say, hey, y'all blacks take this. It's over with. It's over with. They thought that we was going to let this go and let this slide. Oh, we got to give the verdict. Okay, 3 years. Oh, no, buddy. Oh, no. I will never see my cousin again. I got to go to his grave this afternoon. I got to go to his grave this afternoon. Do y'all know that feeling? We didn't get our chance. And that's why we right here today. We didn't get a chance. And that's because of the system.
You ever wondered what actors and actresses do when they have to get in shape?
I can't stand you two. Oh, I can't stand you two.
I'm not gonna do about that, y'all. Apologies.
It's all good. It's all good.
You know, I try to find the mom. You know, I watched a longer video of her actually in the courtroom, and that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I've been wanting to touch on, because again,
let me play it real quick, Rev.
Okay.
It's hard to watch here.
This is the trauma I keep talking about, you know. And we're constantly uh,
Is that a black judge?
yes, that's what I'm saying, brother. Come on now.
I lost my father. My father had a stroke. Because of you. Because of you. I lost my father. Because of you.
Did the sound go out?
I think that's enough. He's been waiting. She's been waiting 3 years for justice.
Yeah. See that right there? Mm-hmm. Now they rushing him out of the courtroom.
Right.
No, you need to stand there and hear everything that mom has to say. Everything. Everything. And now the judge running out.
And then look at him like, what's wrong with those people? Why are they so upset?
Yeah. 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 We punished one of ours. What's the problem? That's the DA right there with the red tie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That's how he looks.
Yeah. He did a backroom deal. He know he's wrong.
Strung the family out for 3 years.
Yeah, and then don't give them. You do a backroom deal. You don't even include the family, in the plea agreement in this backroom deal. Give them a sweetheart deal, and then you can't even allow the family to voice their I don't care how much anger and frustration and cursing or whatever else. Make him stand there and listen to all of it. If nothing else, like you even take that away.
Yeah.
Rush him on out of the courtroom. For real? That's a black judge. Come on, bruh. And then see, but that's what they do. They steal our voice too, bruh. They steal our voice.
That's why it's not enough to vote black, right? You got to know who you're voting for. Just because they got black skin doesn't mean that they're good or they're going to create change that we want. I wasn't a fan of Obama. And, a lot of black folks saw him as a savior. A lot of white folks too. And, still to this day, you can't speak a bad word about Michelle or Barack, and it's like it's a joke, right? It doesn't matter who you plug in, it's going to be the same thing unless they're really there to be an agent of change. And it doesn't matter whether you're going to get reelected or not. You're there to make change, to make waves. You're not there to go along to get along. You're not going to become a gatekeeper, right? I'm going to say two things and I'm going to give it back to you, Rev. The first one is this. And again, here they are guarding a murderer, so the irony of this is interesting. And they all just sit there like hands folded, like they could all be bothered, even the black ones, and it's all offensive, right? And that's where, a lot of people will say, well, Donald Trump, this and that. But that's why a lot of people voted for him, right? Drain the swamp. This is a damn swamp and it needed to be drained, Now, I would say not by him, but there is a lot of corruption that exists. And, the media is a big part of that. And so what you see is these injustices happen and then the rioting happens, right? And the first thing that they do is they parade the black mother out. Oh, the slain person wouldn't want you rioting. Everyone just go home. We need to peacefully demonstrate and da-da-da-da-da, right? They get them to do that. And then, they get the settlement stuff going on in the background. But, the mainstream media never shows the pain of the family. That's never on display, right? Just go home. The pacification, right, is always put on display. But the pain is not put on display. So a lot of people haven't even seen this. They don't even know about it, right? Yeah. And so, again, we are not powerless. Power is not given. It's taken. So as long as we wait for them to start acting right, doing right, dismantle, what exists, we're going to be waiting a long time.
Yeah.
Power is taken. It is not given. You must take power. What can you do? I'm going to show you what you can do, right? What's going on right now? It's voting time. It's voting time. Do you know who the hell is in this booklet? Do you know what they stand for? Do you know what they're running for? Do you know what their platforms are? So, it ain't enough for us to go out and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to vote for the president. You got to vote
down ballot. Down ballot.
Take place locally, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't going to address this shit locally, then you don't deserve to be in office. You don't deserve to be a coroner. You don't deserve to be a judge. You don't deserve to be a mayor. You don't deserve to be a commissioner. You don't deserve to be a treasurer or anything else that we can vote for in this damn pamphlet. So that has to happen first. That also means that we have to start running, right? And I mean the we that are sick of this, not the ones that aspire to get in there and they say they want to make change and then they get in there and it's the same thing and it's, ooh, well, I tried, but it just looks the same. Oh, well, you know, I need to get another term. And if you keep trying with me, I'll just keep doing this and that, right? There's nothing from precluding us from running. I'm almost done, Reverend. I'm gonna let you go. You know,
no, take your time. Take your time.
What's important is, and I'm gonna keep holding this up because we've got Tara Simmons who just got voted into office, right? Now, she was a convicted felon, and she, you know, works for Civil Survival, and she was able to get that to run for office, right? She was able to sit for the bar and get her be a practicing attorney, you know, things that aren't supposed to happen, right? But now she is there and she is able to do that, okay? And so she has opened up that door. And sometimes it takes white folks to open up the door so that we can come through behind. So if she can do it, there is nothing stopping us from doing it. We just have to decide that we're going to do it, that we are going to take the power and not continue to vote for the same crap over and over again, right? That's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So those of us that think like us, these are the ones that need to start running, and then we must support people like us so that we can affect the change that we want to see. And as you affect it on a local level, that swell will swell up from the city to the county to the state, right, to the nation. And that's how that change is going to be. Is it going to be fast? No, it's not going to be fast. But the landscape is changing. And if we don't watch out, what we're going to do is we're going to look up in 4, 8, 12 years, right? And other folks that want to take power, like our Asian American Pacific Islander community, right? Because they're starting to band together, like our Latino community, right? Like our LGBTQ plus, you know, community, as they band together and start to say, you know what, we're going to take this power for ourselves. We're going to fight for our own issues, right? And they get their own issues passed. That was the whole thing again when Biden was running, right? And he's on with Charlemagne, the God, you know? Well, you ain't black if you don't vote Democrat. He told you right then and there when Ice Cube said he had a plan for Black America and he was able to sit with Trump's people, but Biden's people said, no, after the election, we'll come and we'll sit with you. And he still hasn't sat with them, right? So we can hurry up and wait, and then you will take down some statues or give us a here in the county, you'll give us 2 blocks called Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And we're supposed to be happy. So are you happy with that? Well, you must be, because the damn playoffs are on, right? You just wanted your basketball. You just wanted your NFL. You just wanted to be able to go to the restaurants again, right? You just wanted
bread and circuses.
You got tired of wearing your mask, right? You know, you ain't marching no more, but people are still dying. They're being accosted in Walmart. They're being assaulted. They're being, you know, handcuffed behind their back. They're jabbing arms into pregnant women's bellies. They're uppercutting Black women who are handcuffed. We're watching these things in real time. You get shot in the back, you get murdered, and you get 18 months, almost 18 months that you get to do outside of Gen Pop in the safety. He had just resigned. There was another video that just said, oh, he just resigned. He hadn't resigned yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, when are we done? Marching, it's a tactic that you can use, but what does it do, right? We get blamed for the destruction of things that happen here, you know, during that, but we know that there are other provocateurs that are in there doing those things. And sure, we're in there and you'll see Black folks looting and whatnot, right? Because we're not a monolith, right? We have, you know, we got issues in our own community. So it is what it is. But again, yeah, that's a tactic, but you got to go past that. We've been marching since the damn 40s. So what is it now? Marching time is over. It's time for what's next. It's the age of Malcolm, not Martin. And when Martin died, he was turning more like Malcolm. So come on, y'all. How was that with Denzel in the movie? And he pointed, and everyone shifted and turned. That's what we got to do. Get on code, people. B1. Go ahead, Rev.
Bruh, man, what can I say? what I'm gonna say after all that? Don't put me on the spot. Like, man, like mic drop. Okay, look, no, but what you said was all valid, all true. Even, you know what I'm saying, the Obama thing. I just said to myself, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, look, I definitely wasn't voting for no daggone Trump. I seen that coming a mile away. But I did, you know what I'm saying, I did fall in line with that Obama stuff. You know what I'm saying? Voted for him 2 times. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is like you said, that second time, yeah, he gonna do something this time. Like, come on, he ain't got nothing else to lose now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. But no, again, you plug in, you know what I'm saying, and this was, you know, this was the beginning of me starting to wake up. You know what I'm saying? You plug anybody into that system, and you know they just keep the gears turning or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? The thing is, you know, a lot of people, like you said, they don't pay attention to the down ballot. The down ballot is very, very crucial, you know, and they know that, but they don't want to tell us that. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep you thinking like, oh yeah, let me vote for president. And
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And okay, but what else? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, what else you gonna do? You know, and then as far as you was mentioning, you know, Martin, you know, they you know, they always want to bring up, you know, the I have a dream, you know, I have a dream. You know, he was so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? He was so much more than that. You know, he was over on the continent. You know what I'm saying? He was dealing with people over there. You know what I'm saying? He you know, he had pan African aspirations. You know, and towards the end, he did say, yeah, I fear I have, you know, may have integrated my people into a burning house. The problem is, you know what I'm saying, the people in the house, we keep on, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know, throw buckets of water on the house. No, let this sucker burn down. You know, I'm going to tell you right.
Quote that in Martin. Huh?
Yeah,
How
exactly.
Never quote that. I may have integrated my people into a burning house. Neither side ever says that quote.
Oh, I do all the time. And, you know, and I'm going to tell you right now, if it, you know, and Lord forbid, I knock on wood, you know, I ain't superstitious. Lord forbid, you know, if it ever is, you know, me, yeah, don't be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Let your anger and your rage speak. You know what I'm saying? Be true to you. Look, don't sit there and like, oh, Rev would have wanted us to be all. No. No. I'm gonna tell you right now. Look, please, nah. No. Tear it up. Tear it up. Look, and look. See, they don't want you to tear it up because they owned it. They're coming out of their pocket. You know what I'm saying? They ain't giving us nothing. We ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? What do we really own? Oh, hey, don't tear it up. That's your city. Nah, it ain't my city. Because my city wouldn't do this to me. You know, my community, my community, my city, my place wouldn't do this to me. So no, this ain't mine. You know, I have nothing invested in this. It's because when you have something invested, that means you get a return on your investment. You know, so if I am invested in this, then it's a bad investment. So then again, burn it down. You know, it's a bad investment. You know, if you are invested in it, which I'm not invested in it because I get no return. You know, now if I see a return on it, you know, on an investment, then okay, yeah, let me go ahead and invest in that. You know, you spoke very well about you know, the candidates today. They the Chamber of Commerce was putting on a cafe, candidate cafe or whatever, and I had it in my calendar to go, but you know, I forgot. Anyway, he had conflicts. I didn't get back in time. but
so we got to go to them. They're not going to come to us, but then they expect our vote.
Exactly.
Or maybe they're like 3 or 4% of the county, so we don't let you vote anyway. Is that what they're thinking? Or
yeah,
you're black, so you're a Democrat, so you're gonna vote the same way anyways. Are they thinking along those lines? Just not sure.
I dropped my Democratic flag after Obama, second term. I don't consider myself, Democratic, Republican, or independent. You know what I'm saying? None of that. I ain't affiliated with no party. I'm affiliated with me, and you know what I'm saying, what's best for, you know what I'm saying, me and my people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care who it is who talking that talk, like, okay, you could talk it, but you still gotta, you know what I'm saying, bag it up, but in with that said, I'm not, rolling with nobody just because they with a particular political party. I've always prided myself, never being a follower, and it took me a while to realize, well, you being a follower, just going along with these Democrats just because. No, you know what I'm saying? And I really started paying attention and seeing that, you know what, they doing the same thing. They're making these backroom deals, and they acting like, oh well, this one's Republic, they're bad, and then a Republic, oh no, these ones are, they're no, you know what I'm saying? It's two sides of the same coin. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get in front of the cameras and it's one thing, but again, just like I was saying with the, with the courtrooms, y'all all, you know what I'm saying, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all standing around laughing. If you ever turn on C-SPAN and watch, you know what I'm saying, the votes, you're gonna see the Republicans and the Democrats. They stand around and they chuckle and they laugh and they talk and they, buddy in, and then they go cast their vote, and then they come back to the little circle and they talking, and they, like, hold on, but y'all get in front of, the mainstream cameras and y'all act like y'all mortal enemies. No, y'all ain't. No, y'all ain't. That's a show for the people, so you can keep them, voting for you. But people got to start waking up and paying attention, you know what I'm saying, to the games that are being played. We really have to start paying attention to the games that are being played, because, this is a, something Copass, taught me was, the devil ain't got to, you know what I'm saying, switch his tactics, because we keep falling for the same, game. So these fools ain't got to switch their tactic. They've been playing the same game on us since day one, but we don't realize that it's the rich against the poor, because they pit the poor against the poor. It's like the bum fights, you know what I'm saying, that they used to put on. They go get the homeless people, pay them a couple of bucks, y'all fight, you know what I'm saying, for the our entertainment. And so they've been playing that game, since day one, but then they try and break it down and say, oh no, it's this race against that race. You need to watch out for the white people. You need to watch out for the Mexicans. You need to watch out for the Negroes. You know what I'm saying? And they pitting each everybody against it. It's like, come on, we all poor and ain't got nothing. But, the people that's, pulling the strings, yeah, they got something. They invested. They got something to lose. What do we have to lose? What do we really have invested? They the ones that have stuff invested. And so, we got to wake up and start seeing these games for really what they is. You know what I'm saying? Who was it? That was dang it. I keep wanting to say Malcolm, but I don't think it was Malcolm. It'll come to me.
Well, what'd they say?
Well, it was something like, you're not my enemy. I think it was Ali. Might have been, Ali, when they was trying to get him to, go over the, you know what I'm saying, over into Vietnam. And he broke it down so eloquently. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, he ain't my enemy. You know what I'm saying? He said, you my enemy when I want to go and get a job, or when I try to go get a loan, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever else. It ain't, you know what I'm saying, it ain't the other poor man that's in the same condition that I'm in, that's my enemy. Like we all in the same boat. We trying to keep this thing afloat and us not sinking and going down. You know what I'm saying? So who really is my enemy is the one that's firing torpedoes at a, you know what I'm saying, at a sinking ship. Like no, you know. And so when we open our eyes up wider and we start looking at things like that a little bit, you know what I'm saying, more clearer, you know, we have to start, you know what I'm saying, creating our own narrative in spaces like this, you know what I'm saying, and that's why, you know, I ain't got no problem with doing this, you know what I'm saying, and I love to do it because we have to create our own narrative, you know what I'm saying, and not some, you know, you know, buy into a narrative that's been paid off, you know. Like I was saying, pay attention to those newscasters on the, you know, clips you was playing. Like, come on, what are you really saying? You know what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff they were saying is like, what? You know, but again, you know, they invested, you know, they bought into this, you know what I'm saying? To the, you know, and then like you were saying, with, you know, as far as all those you know, officers, those undercovers in the courtroom lining up like that, some of them black, they invested. You know, you don't want to lose what you know what I'm saying, what you feel you have a stake in, you know. Whereas me, it's like, look, no, I'm finna sit down, you know. And then they want to rush up there, whatever else, I'm go ahead, you know. Now write me up, you know what I'm saying? But I know, as you know what I'm saying, as a citizen, I turn on the TV, I see how hard it is to, you know what I'm saying, fire a police officer. So you daggone right, I'm finna sit right here. What y'all gonna do? Write me up, you know what I'm saying? Send me home for a couple of weeks. All right. And you know, but that mama, she finna say what she want to say. I'm not finna stop her. And y'all ain't finna make me, you know what I'm saying, hold her back or nothing else. Look, nope. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? I ain't never been scared of man. So, you know, I don't care. And you know, but you don't have people that have them attitudes. It's like, oh, I'm invested in this. I don't want to lose what I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, come on. You ain't got nothing. At
When
the
they
end
can
of the
take it
day,
whenever they want.
exactly. And not only that, at the end of the day, you can't take it with you. When it's
No.
all said and done, ain't none of this coming with you. You know what I'm saying? Plain and
Right.
simple. And then, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, all that you trying to amass that, oh, well, you know, yeah, I can't take it with me, but I'm going to leave it to the family. You don't know how they going to handle it. You know what I'm saying? They might blow it a week after you gone. Or the man might come in and take it. You know what I'm saying? So what you really fighting for? You know what I'm saying? What are you really instilling in your people? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't, like, come on. What's it really about? You know, because I know, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, we all gonna stand before, you know what I'm saying, a angry and righteous, you know what I'm saying, Lord, and we don't have to give account. And gonna say, why you treat that mama like that? She grieving. For real. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't about skin color. You know what I'm saying? Because we, you know, it's stories on here, you know, we're starting to, you know, and this is where people got to start waking up. Because like I said, you know what I'm saying, we all in this together. You starting to see it's starting to happen little by little. But where they turning on, you know what I'm saying, the poor white folk too.
Oh, I can play
Shooting them down.
videos
Oh
like
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, but it's starting to happen more and more, right?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now they really starting to show their hand that, look, this ain't a, you know what I'm saying, black, white, you know, Latino, white, or whatever else, you know, versus you want to create. You know what I'm saying? This ain't what it is. You know, it's a class thing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't in this elite group. We don't deem you worthy. You know what I'm saying? Stay down there. And don't try and make too much noise. Don't try and, you know what I'm saying, climb up out of the bucket. You know what I'm saying? Be happy where you at. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? So I pray that more people start waking up and understanding, like, look, this ain't about, you know what I'm saying, skin, you know, even though people, you know what I'm saying, and let me, you know, break that down a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? Because even though, you know, on the grand scale, that's not what it's about with the puppet masters, you know, but, you know what I'm saying, because they've created that division amongst ourselves, you know, each side, you know, our people too, you know what I'm saying, but, they the other side, they have more privileges, you know what I'm saying, and they take more advantages, like what we're seeing with the TikTok right now, you know what I'm saying, and the boycott over there and stuff like that or whatever. So they, you know what I'm saying, they use the privileges that they still have remaining right now, you know what I'm saying, to exploit, you know what I'm saying, on the black community at times or whatever, but all of that is that's what I say, is beginning to break down. Those lines are beginning to break down, where you finna lose your privilege, and the real privilege gonna be like, okay, what your wallet size looking like, not what your, you know what I'm saying, your skin color is, and they finna really reveal, you know what I'm saying, the true hand in a minute. So people gotta watch out. But this is all biblical. Like I say, go ahead and read your Bible. You'll see. This is all biblical. It is. It really is. Yeah. But go ahead.
I'm pretty fired up. I feel like I need to run. Is it too late to get on one of these ballots?
Man, yeah. Hey, you know what? I've considered it in the past, but I know that I don't have the support out there like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't I'm not in those type of circles. You know what I'm saying? Where, people gonna get behind you.
I think the thing is that we got to just start running. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? There's new voices out here that need to be heard, and we're going to run. You want to beat us, then you're going to start addressing the issues, because we talking about issues that matter to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We care about things like abortion and climate change and, the economy and livable wages and homelessness and many of the things that many other Americans, stake their hat on as far as what's important to them. So that's important to us. But then our issues that are seminal to us are also important to us. And we're going to have to be our own advocates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's time that we create a new party system, for that is, a FUBU party. Really, we need a FUBU party, for us, by us. Yeah.
So, you said something interesting. Let me run this past you, right? You said that, we got to stop going for the okie doke, right? So what I said is, the way I always compare it is, I say, the Democrats are like, Charlie Brown and Lucy, she keeps holding the football down, and she tells the little Democrats, come on, vote this time. I'm going to do it for you this time. No, you're going to pull the football. No, I'm going to hold it. And then as soon as he goes to kick the football, as soon as you fool Democrats go to kick the football, there go there go Lucy pulling the football out again. It happens every single time, right? Obama and Clinton and, Bernie and whoever else, right? I mean, it is what it is. Clinton would have been horrible, by the way. But, we just keep facing the same thing. And so to me, I look at it as we've got different wings on the same bird, right? And so in order to change it, we got two choices. You can either vote Republican and you can go to hell in the elevator pretty quick, or you can vote Democrat and it's still going down, but it's just going to go down a lot slower. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a lot more destructive on its way down. So, they always have this metaphor saying, hey, some people just ain't going to be able to fix this situation until they hit bottom. Well, you know what? We just need to go on and hit bottom. So you have this philosophy and some of, those in the black community that are like, you know what? We just are going to abstain from the vote, right? We're not going to vote for either party. I think maybe we vote. Go ahead and vote Republican. Go ahead and take that express elevator and go ahead and dismantle this thing all the way and fix it. Because all the Democratic piece of it, to me, is just a slow burn, right? So we know when they're in office, what they do. They put all the Supreme Court judges. They do this, they do that. The Democrats, they cry and they moan. And then it shifts back to the Democrats. And then they're too afraid to do anything. And then it's bipartisanship. And Biden's like, I've got friends across the aisle. And they just rip him a new one left and right and center. And nothing ever gets done, or he moderates himself, right? No $15 minimum wage. We still got student loans. We don't have universal basic income. We don't have universal health care. We don't have an infrastructure package. I could go on and on and on and on, right? So it's just the same thing. We just kind of keep kicking the can and going slow. We're still going down, but we just going on a slow road, right? We might as well go ahead and take the express, hit the bottom, and then bounce back up and then rebuild. So it's like, no, let's not abstain. Let's not keep voting Democrat. Let's just all go ahead on the Republican side, and one or two things are going to happen. Either Republicans are really going to take us to hell in a handbasket, or the Democrats are going to be like, holy crap, we got to really get ourselves together. If you vote for us, we're going to do everything that you want, and then we can vote Democrat, and then either way, someone's going to do the interest, and we're going to fix it. It's going to take something radical, right? I don't think it's going to be a third party because it just splits the vote. What's your thoughts on that?
Nope.
See, how we gonna get along, Red? How we gonna get along?
I'm a
nope.
I'm a surveyor of words, right? And nice sale, but nope. not gonna happen, right? So, one thing's for sure. I ain't never finna, votes for somebody that, don't like me, and don't like the idea of my existence, playing this.
Oh, real?
Hold on, bro. You don't like, I'm not gonna try and empower somebody that doesn't, like, again, or despises. I'll put it that way. They despise the idea of my existence, plain and simple, and did I go off?
Yeah, you did. I need to mute my camera. I'm trying to drink so I can keep myself quiet.
I don't know why I went off. Hold on. Let me cut it back on. There we go.
Rev,
so, no, that's not going to happen, right? I'm not finna rush to destruction either. I'd rather take the slow elevator down, because that gives, time for contemplation. That gives time, for some MacGyver moves if need be, right? I'm not rushing to destruction. I'm not finna, jump on the the speedway racing towards a brick wall. Like, nah, if I'm in a car, right, and the acceleration is stuck, right, and I can't steer, and I'm just headed towards this brick wall, right. You think I ain't gonna lay my foot on that brake and delay that as long as possible? If I'm falling off of a building, you think I ain't gonna start flapping my arms and trying to delay that?
Let God take the wheel. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Jesus, take
you. Yeah, you do that. You go ahead and you do that, right? I love my life. I love who I am. So yeah, that is not a good idea either. And I know you tend to favor, the red coats or whatever. And hey, that's your prerogative, bro. I ain't mad at you. But that is not, a good course of action for our people. Now, I'm not gonna say that it wouldn't benefit some, but it's not a good course of action for our people. And this is a good what I'm saying is this is a better course of action. Voting Trump back in, really? Nah, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But
doodle or vomit, which sandwich you want? They both bad. I don't want either one.
Well, we're gonna pick this one back up at another time. I'm over my 3-hour mark and definitely over my bedtime. So
hey man, Rev, this was a fun one. I mean it
always is
one, but you got to be able to smile and laugh in the face of all this. Otherwise, you go crazy for sure.
Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. We rather laugh than cry, but that don't mean that the pain ain't still there.
Right.
Yeah.
This was a powerful conversation. I do appreciate you so much. I so look forward to our conversations. And today you sent me a text. You're like, "What we talking about?" I'm like, "Hey, it's over." And you're like, "How about this?" All right, how about this? And it just goes, So that I definitely believe in. I think God gives us what we need to talk about and what people need to hear, whether they need to hear it today or whenever they watch this podcast. but it's needed. So I appreciate you. I wanted you to know that.
Same here, bro.
Any final thoughts there, Rem?
No, good night. I'm tired.
All right.
Way past my bedtime.
For Savage Souls, Reverend Ellington, I am Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit, and we will see you next time. All right, y'all.